What up, everybody? This is Edward with another video, and today, we're just gonna talk real quick. This is me doing the live, but doing it from my computer. So make sure you all check in with a like, check in with a comment. Pretty much all I want to do is just go through a little bit my thoughts on the false kidnapping. Turns out to be another hoax. And this is what the second one. The second one, at least that the manosphere has talked about in like this last 3 or 4 weeks. And it's just interesting because, when people say shit, what's up, Pharaoh? And they say stuff and you make your points. And then once you say what you say, the stuff is out there. And then you leave to what the evidence is to see, who's right or who's wrong, even though, people are doing the best they can to put stuff out there from a logical perspective, or at least I do. And something like this happens. And let's just keep it real. A lot of news happens. There's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of things that don't get reported. But this is just something for something to happen like this quickly. And granted, this is like, in the North versus the April Mason siblings in the South. It just really belabors the point. Now, the reason why I decided to do this video, one of the reasons is because, Ramil played one of Paris's videos in regarding to this topic. Now, for the most part, I don't go over there and listen to them chicks because it's just going to make my head explode because they're out here. The only thing they're out here to do is push narratives based on feelings and emotions, and they look for logic to validate their feelings and emotions, not in reverse. So logic only serves its purpose to basically validate their feelings, and when logic doesn't validate their feelings, they discard it just as easily because they operate primarily on their feelings. This is the problem with Black community as a whole. And there's a video that was shared in the Telegram that I need to put on my community tab because it's with Professor Black Truth. And he pretty much articulated this so beautifully and basically said it. The Black community has a zeitgeist of a female. And this explains really in very short everything you need to know about why, as a collective, Black people are where they are. Yes, white supremacy exists, and yes, white supremacy is going to do its job in maintaining white supremacy. But we make it a hell of a lot too easy, and part of the things like this is how we do it. So in this video, Paris, one of the things that she talked about is something she always talks about, which is this idea that Black men don't protect Black women. Now, I don't know if she doesn't feel protected in her personal life, because I'm gonna keep it real. Most of the females that really are on this Black men don't protect Black women shit are really come from families where they weren't protected. And that's on them. Because at the end of the day, that's on who they mama fucked and who they and the daddy that they mama chose. Now, granted, she did tennis, so I don't know about her family, but what I'm saying is people that really harp on those narratives, that's usually something that stems out from being personal, and then it's projected out to make it seem like it's an everyone issue so that they can shame everyone, because at the end of the day, their family don't give a fuck. But then again, it could be people are absolutely full of shit. But the point here is that stuck out to me because April said the same thing. It was all about Black men not protecting Black women. And the thing about it that gets on my damn nerves is this shaming tactic, because that's all it is. It gets carted out when this shows you how lack of real influence that women have over their men. The fact that they have to do they can't come to men from a woman's, they can't come to men like just face front and really have these conversations. It always has to be something that Black men are not doing, as if they're not raising the very boys that become the men that are quote unquote not doing this. And this is one thing about not really addressing everything. But that's the thing that was like the through line between April and Paris. Now keep in mind, April is like in her 20s, I believe, mid, but it may be early. And then April's like 43. So Paris is like in her early 20s, early to mid. April is like in her at best, at worst, mid 40s, but probably like 41 to 44. So you have a 20-year gap. So you literally have two generations of women essentially saying the same shit. They're essentially using the same tactics. This women are out here and everything and anything is happening because of black men are not doing something. Black men are protecting. And see, when you look at how it's communicated, and these are women that are not necessarily talking straight, talking ratchet. It's always communicated from a shame on you standpoint. And the thing that I absorb when I'm hearing that is, well, you just not desperate enough. Because if you was really out here in mortal danger like that, you would not be on no, I need to shame people shit. Like, I'll give you an example. People always make the analogy that if somebody breaks in the house, I don't give a fuck how strong independent a woman is. I don't give a fuck about how much television you see. Shit is going to quickly go back to where the roles are supposed to go back to. And that woman is going to look to that dude to do something. Point, because if she's sleeping in the same bed and she's fucking them, and then that those things have already been passed. Women are not. Here's the thing: women are not fucking men that they don't believe will protect them. Because when you ask a lot of these females, like especially 5-6 years ago, why they choose who they choose, it's always I feel protected. Women are not fucking men they don't feel protected with. Let's cut the bullshit. And now I'm talking about black women in particular, but women in general. They're not fucking men that they don't feel protected. This is kind of how low key, a lot of that protection shit is bullshit. It's a way to speak to a lot of macro issues without really having to really unpeel all the onions, all the layers. Because if you do that, then it's gonna tell a story that maybe people don't want to get told. So they just say, black men abandon their kids, black men don't protect. And one thing is, women will have all these women's studies, but our women never really stop to ask themselves, why is this really as true as what they want to say it is? And if it is, why is that what it is? Because my thing is, if black men are really doing all this shit that black women say, why are you having sex with black men? If you're really these queens, you're really it is not race loyalty. Stop saying that, because that's not true. Like that's if black men are really doing everything that's being said, then why are you still having sexual relations with black men? So that's a question. But if it's not happening to the extent that you're saying that they say it happens, or to the extent that they like to project it out, then the question really needs to be, why is it so easy to say it? And we know what it is. It's a way to pretty much not address something else. Like, a lot of people don't, I dealt with procrastination on a lot of things. And when you procrastinate, it's an emotional response. It's something you don't want to do. You need to do it. You need to take this step to get to this point, but you just don't want to do it. It could be a lot of things that, everybody, men and women, have dealt with that. And they know, what I'm talking about when I say it. But that's the same thing when it comes to certain conversations. There's conversations that are emotionally painful to have, or it's not emotionally good to have. So what happens is the subconscious mind creates doors to basically lock your ability to have those conversations or to have those perspectives. It's literally like walling up your brain. So what happens is, if you're I'm not trying to act like I'm a brain person, but if you're the flow of thought, we'll say that, is like a river, you're damming up certain aspects to where that the flow of that river can only go so places. So whenever somebody actually drags you past that like metaphorical dam, then what happens is, and we see dudes do this too, you get emotional, and then you start to sound fucking stupid because there's no logic behind why you don't want to have the conversation if this issue is as bad as it is, big of a deal as it's presented. So what happens is the brain starts shutting down and you just start sounding like you're a fucking idiot. because you don't have the logic, because a lot of stuff you never even conceived that somebody would bring it up. So what happens is the fake outrage and all this other shit. This is why when black men had some real concerns and they brought it up, say this is a lot of what's going on, when it comes to protection, because you can't have protection without leadership. And here's the thing that black women don't understand. Leadership, it's not lead me, protect me first, and I'll accept your leadership. No, they go hand in hand. They're kind of like the chicken and the egg. Dr. Manhattan talked about which came first, the chicken and the egg, and the answer is both. It's both. There is no, well, you protect me first and then I'll submit to your leadership. No, you actually submit to the leadership first. And if the benefits don't come with that, then you have a right to leave. You have a right to, resubmit. It's just like dealing with a dude. It's just like anything. You have to submit to that leadership, then you get the benefits. There is no, you get the benefits, then you reserve the right to just walk away. And that's the problem. Women have that mentality because they're used to looking at shit like dates. Oh, I get this and then I give this. No, it's an exchange of value. And let's keep it real. Me sitting there having a conversation with you on a date is not a real exchange of value. Not for the dude. Because they can do that with anybody. You can get on YouTube, talk to a bitch. And that's not the value as to why they actually pay money. But women are so used to getting then giving. This is how they interpret other things that don't operate that way. And they look at other groups like Latins and white women, and they say, oh, well, they are loyal because they're protected. That's actually not true, because Latin men and white men are more likely to probably knock the shit out of their women and get away with it than black men are, because everybody is looking to try to put black men in jail. Everybody's not trying to look to put white men and black men in jail. So those women have to make calculations based on that fact. And also, they don't have an ability to really betray their men as easily because the group may come down to them women. Now, every group of women have their problems. I'm not saying Latin men, white men don't have their issues, but their issues our stuff is really kind of unique because you have the greater society really buffering, really compensating and allowing our women to do whatever the fuck they want to do, because that causes chaos and that keeps us where we are. That's the engine that actually helps to keep us where we are. And the women get just enough benefits to where that makes sense for them, but the long-term outcomes is what they see. So when they look at the community from a long-term perspective, now they see where they fucked up, but see, they can't address that because remember that river, that dammed up thoughts. This is why when you talk about, a lot of the laws in 68, this is that, shame, guilt, need to be right shit. That's basically what BGS was talking about when he said that. So when you have these conversations and you're trying to say, this is why this happened this way, or this is why this happened this way, they can't conceive of that because they don't want to believe it. It doesn't matter the books, doesn't matter the evidence, doesn't matter. That is too painful to actually come to realize. So even if people like Sister Soldier, Frances Cress Welsing, and other women that live their life say it, they can't have that problem. This is why you have women, quite frankly, like April Mason, that they like to have this surface level candy cake and rainbow bullshit. This we all need to come together without addressing anything bullshit. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from the life she's lived because she has gone through some stuff. But at the end of the day, so has everybody. Black women don't have a unique monopoly on pain. And it ain't all black men, the descendant. Remember, these women are, for the most part, fucking with dudes they choose to fuck with. And that's something that never needs to not be let go of. You don't want pain. All that thing where people always talk about, I need somebody with edge and somebody with this, with that. Now, granted, she came from a Christian background, so it's a little bit separate stuff with that. But with that, and that's always what people like to act like, oh, well, it was the church that descended upon me and all this other bullshit. That's not everybody's situation. But my point is, if nothing changes, nothing changes. And the problem is, this is the thing that's always been the issue in the manosphere, and you're starting to see a lot. And the problem with is people don't want to have the real conversations. They want to do everything they can to try to get something without actually addressing the details. And even with a lot of men that try to cape for these chicks, what they try to do is they basically try to bum rush their way through it, like rush their way through it like a fucking running back, and say, "No, that shit, you ain't a real one. You ain't this, you ain't that." Not understanding the dudes can just walk away because there's no benefits. There's no benefits to staying. You stay because of something that's greater than just a benefit. But at the end of the day, if people are going to give you that kind of resistance, the motherfuckers might as well just do them and just keep it moving. This is why you have stuff like SYSB. Because the reality of the situation is you can't do nothing with it except shame people. But shaming doesn't work because that's only predicated on how much they actually respect the person shaming them. So calling somebody a bitch nigga, calling somebody a name, getting yelled loud, whatever words you call, that stuff is only as powerful as the word is the person behind it. And the reality is a lot of these dudes, no matter what cloth they're cut from, they don't have an answer as to how to keep men from bouncing. They just don't. They don't have an answer for there is for the potential opportunity as well. It's like telling somebody that used to shop at a mom and pop shop and Walmart comes in and then everything's cheaper and it's the same thing. You have no answer for that other than saying, okay, you need to understand black economics for your own community. But no matter what community that is, no matter what race it is, Walmart does the same thing because people are only on that to a certain extent. And rather than admitting you don't have an answer and actually having a real conversation about what it will take, then you have the thing that you meet the black folks. Most other folks will say, okay, we know we're at a disadvantage, so let's say what it will take and have a genuine conversation to what needs to be given and gotten to see if these things, if there's something that can be doable. But people don't want to have that conversation. They can't get past the shaming. I remember Xanatos Clutch said this, BGS was there, and BGS kind of dismissed it, but it actually was Xanatos Clutch saying exactly what needed to be said. He said, and by the way, Ron Wills would further validate this when he talked about the ego imprint. He said he needs to be the first choice. If you want him to have the first responsibility, that's something that has to happen. It's not the only thing, but it was telling that was the thing that he said. And BGS kind of sort of dismissed it. And see, that's the problem. Because then if you get somebody like Clutch that says that somebody else gives him what he perceives as the first choice, then that's who he's going to be loyal to. It's like a basketball team losing people. It's like the Lakers. The Lakers want to say, I'm the fucking Lakers. But at the end of the day, well, this is before LeBron and Anthony Davis. This was when LaMarcus Aldridge was coming there. But he was like, okay, you may have been the Lakers, but that's not what the fuck I'm in right now. I'm seeing a whole bunch of motherfuckers don't know what the fuck they're doing. And you're asking me to come here because of some past greatness. And quite frankly, for the most part, a lot of the people talking about that can't even stand on that. And it looks goofy. And LeBron just so happened, they got lucky. He wanted to go to the Lakers. That's the only reason why, why the Lakers got him. It had nothing to do with the Lakers actually had an attractive package. And that's the same thing that you look at a situation like what the Bucks did. A team, and the Bucks that nobody has any business like really wanting to deal with, but at the same time, they built their stuff. It's a different situation. Or you look at the Toronto Raptors when Kawhi Leonard went over there. That was an already pretty built-in situation. He just had to add to it. The point is, and I can say a whole bunch of metaphors, but the point is really, you all act as though there is no like nobody can leave. And yes, they can go over there and they can get fucked over. I know how white folks are. I know the difference between dealing with somebody as an individual versus dealing with people as a group. Black people got to deal with that in the military. They got to deal with that in the police. They got to deal with that everywhere they go. But at the end of the day, what you don't calculate is that risk better than staying where they are? And not only do people not calculate it, they go out of their way to ignore that as if the shit is going to fix itself. And the shit is only getting worse. Like what you're going to see in a lot of the 2020s is you're going to see you already see it. You're going to see a whole bunch of women that they're going to be grinded out. Like I was listening to Jada Black, and there was this one woman that called in. There was a couple of women that called in, and she was saying the basic shit. You know, women are just black women are just having kids later, and women are doing. It was funny because you had an older woman. I don't even know if she was black or not because she sounded white. That called in, and she was like, "What?" She sounded like she was like 45, 46, 47, really in her 50s, but she said she was 33, and I mean it. I'm not talking about smoking and nothing. She really sounded older. Um, and she thought she's 33 and how she can't find that. We don't know what she looks like. Then you got a woman that's in there like 20, 26, 27, and she's talking about how, oh, well, women are waiting later and da da da. But what you don't understand is so you're telling me that you're talking all this basic feminist shit that women are working on their careers first and waiting later, and you don't hear these women that are like 33, 34, 35, 36 that are complaining about they can't get the same offers that they were getting when they were in their 20s. So do you because this stuff is not new. This is about a decade old now, that complaint. Women talk about they can't find nobody on their level and all of that. But you cannot see, but you're still gonna say the same basic shit that's already been debunked like 15 years ago at this point. And this just goes to show you the programming, because people don't want to address reality. And what I mean when I say that, it's like reality has to bite you in the ass before you say, oh shit. And then what happens is you scramble to try to find something that can deal with that. And truth be told, ain't nobody bailing people out. That's the thing. There is no bailouts. And that's what you're going to see. And you're going to see a whole bunch of people trying to get bailed out, and they're going to be given whatever, and everything's going to come back to, at the end of the day, it's going to be what it's going to be. At the end of the day, your pussy the only thing that anybody's really interested in. And then you're going to get in a situation you don't want to get in. You're going to be angry, mad, bitter. This is why you see a lot of gay shit happening. This is why you see a lot of crazy shit happening, because people just can't really, they're doing everything they can to move around the thing that is the thing that's behind the thing that they need to deal with. So what happens is these things like the black man isn't protecting me. The black man abandoned me. The black man. This shit has nothing to do with black men. It has everything to do with just not want to address the shit that you put in to the universe that's now coming back at you. So rather than deal with that, we're going to blame a black man. And then you got other groups and other people that will let people get on TV and validate that, because that allows them to do shit like Harvey Weinstein getting away with the shit he did for years, because other people are more caring about dealing with their own mommy and daddy issues than they are actually addressing shit they need to be addressing for them. So coming all the way back to like the initial situation with the kidnapping and stuff, people want to say, oh, well, she's not ADOS. Okay, so she's not ADOS now, but that didn't matter when it was time to say, oh, look at this girl that got kidnapped. Look at this 16-year-old that got kidnapped. See, black men don't protect black women. It doesn't matter that she was in a single mother situation. She's only not ADOS when now she lied. Now, we know good and well the ADOS situation would have never came up had she would have legitimately been kidnapped, because that would have been just another way to shame black men on social media. Now we want to flip it. And see, this is how you know people are full of shit. Because whenever no matter the outcome, you're still coming back to the same conclusion. That's how you know you have a narrative. It's just like when you talk about something that's Republican or Democrat. Depending on who you're talking to, they have completely different spins. Doesn't matter the outcome, because the logic of it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what narrative you're trying to portray. And the biggest issue, detriment to sisters, is really themselves, because they choose to live in delusion. And like I said, BGS came up with that shame, guilt, and need to be right shit. That shit locks them up to the point where reality doesn't care. Reality doesn't care what you want to say. Reality doesn't care how you want to say it. Reality doesn't care what color you are, that you're black, white. It doesn't care. It is what it is. And you either accept that and move with it, or you just keep on doing your delusions, and then the ship is still going to sink. But other people are going to move on. It's not. It's just because a lot of dudes that are still programmed, because really they're programmed. Them dudes can't help you. That's the thing. Here's the thing. The folks that have options, exercise them. It doesn't matter what these dudes tell you. At the end of the day, they can't bail you out. All these niggas that are talking about, well, it ain't your fault and you need to say the black. That's why they trying to shame other black men to come and do it. They're trying to shame other black men to do some shit that quite frankly they can't do. This is why you also hear dudes trying to talk about having more than one wife. We need to upgrade our side pieces and make them wives. That don't mean shit. That's just a title. They still gonna be in the same situation that they're in and made them a side piece. Nothing changes because of a word in that situation. But that's the game. So again, a lot of this stuff I even try to get away from and not talk about, because at the end of the day, it gets to be a waste of time. Like when you dealt with this stuff a few years like I have, you realize they're gonna say what they're gonna say. And it really comes back to, like I said, BJ talked about the environment. It's really true. The only time they're not gonna change. They're gonna adjust. And when they adjust, they're gonna try to sell you this bullshit and hope that more dudes bite. That's really what they're gonna do. This is what they're doing with the get the bag shit. Secure the bag, secure the bag. Okay, so what the fuck were you doing? What were you doing before? Like take K Michelle, for example. K Michelle said the only thing I care about is my bag and my kids. Okay, so you don't need a man. You only needed sperm. So why are you so butthurt? If all you needed was your bag and your kids, why did you get a blow up ass? To the point where you almost killed yourself. Why are you doing that? When you look at social media, why are these women fighting it up? What are they doing? They're getting money. They're getting a bag that's paid for by men being thirsty. This is why a lot of them are low-key threatened by dudes actually bouncing. Because it doesn't matter. Like if you look at the top 30% of black men, if a sizable percentage of them actually did start getting their passport and going overseas, I'm talking about the top 30. I'm not even talking about the rest. That's where the money is. Like, let's keep it real. It ain't no real money outside it. Like you get past the top 40, out of the top 40, it ain't no real money. Because now you're dealing with dudes that's like making what, 35 or less? The median income in America now is 50,000. That's for everybody. And really what it's coming down to is you're either in the top 30%, 20%, or you're broke. So there is no money with that. So the only value is really genetic value, and that shit only goes so far. Because at the end of the day, good dick ain't gonna clean you up. If anything, good dick can kind of fuck you up. Because it's gonna make your ass lazy. That's why I got a whole bunch of fat bitches acting like Lizzo ain't nothing new. A lot of sisters been acting like Lizzo. And then they have these like circular arguments that make no fucking sense. I know women that are 180, 190 pounds and they bad. Where? Well, I know models. Can't point them out. And that statement, that look, shout out to Nala. I have no issue with her. She would never make that statement to a white man or Latin man. She would never say that. She will only say, well, but and I want to address that real quick too. That's another thing with the narrative piece. Nala kept coming back to saying that there's a lot of brothers that like big women. I forget her name, but Sister George, and I'm gonna put the link out for some of y'all because we'll bring this up. Sister George said the same thing. Where she said, black men weren't checking for me when I was skinnier, but when I gained weight, then all of a sudden they were checking for me. Okay, keep in mind you're dealing with motherfuckers in Mississippi. That's number one. And that's not to shame them, but that's the South, number one, and number two, Mississippi cost of living is damn near nothing. But number two, most of these niggas that say that, a lot of times they don't have options. That's number one. These are not the dudes that are like in the top 20. And they know that when they say it. That's part of the lie that women say. My question I would ask these women is like, are these guys that you want to fuck? Are these guys that you will fuck without a date that are telling you this shit? That's number one. Number two, just to explain it, black men do not like obese bitches. And I'm going to put the link in a second. Let me tell y'all that. Y'all are purposely confusing. You're doing it on purpose because you're not fucking stupid. You all are confusing having a fat fucking belly like you're fucking pregnant with an hourglass figure. Black men like an hourglass figure. And yes, if black men have to choose between a fat ass and big titties, they will probably choose an ass. That's that fucking bottom heavy small breast bullshit she was talking about. But black men do not like fat bitches. Not black men that have any kind of serious options. The same black men y'all keep saying are hopping the fence are the same black men. And here's the thing, you all, well, they keep fucking no. That's not what it is. You know that's not what it is. You may see a black man with a fat bitch. That does not mean those are necessarily the top dudes. And they know that when they say that they're looking for anybody that they've ever seen with a big bitch. Most of these niggas fucking big bitches are dusty. Most of them, like 85 to 90%, are dusty as fuck, and they have no options. You give them some money, and they're not like, I give a nigga $100,000. He's not fucking no fat bitches. Let's stop lying. And people use that in order to justify doing what the fuck they do. Also, you got to realize, and this is why there's not a lot of black male incels. That's why that's bullshit, because a lot of black men, and it's going to sound contradictory, is the reason I'm saying it. What black men will do is at the end of the day, if that's all the pussy they can get, black men will settle for that. White men will actually go incel. And I'm going to keep it real with you. I'll go incel before I fuck. I've never fucked a fat bitch. I will go incel before I do that. Real talk. I will go card carrying incel before I did that. It just wouldn't happen. And a lot of niggas are too broke. A lot of these niggas are too broke to trick too to get even some better pussy. So they can get and then that's another thing that doesn't get talked about. A lot of these niggas, they be lying to themselves, fucking big bitches. These females are taking care of their ass. They living with these chicks. Hobo sexuality. They're fucking for food and shelter. And a woman doesn't want to be alone, and she got, Section 8 or whatever. So this is how you get these fucked up relationships that lead to a lot of this bullshit that goes down. This is also why you get these females that want to compete with their daughters as their daughter get older, because they know they nothing but a fat piece of slop, piece of shit. And so they see their daughter young, tight, and taut as she approaches 18, 19. She want to get the bitch out because she know what's going to happen, because she know why that dude is there. They know what time it is. And the thing about Nala is, I understand she means well, but you're not helping a woman by telling her that. You're really not. You're not helping these. And she said a lot of good things, but telling these women that, a lot of brothers want, okay, these are niggas. What she doesn't say, these are dudes you're going to have to take care of. These are dudes that are going to be like in-house dick, like a child, because these are not dudes that are going to produce for you. They're there because it's free. It's almost like, if you're homeless and you go to a homeless shelter to get food and the food is the throwaways, you get that because it's free. Beggars can't be choosers. So when you tell a black woman that, you're lying to her. You're doing a lot more damage, because remember I said earlier in this channel, I said you have the agitators, which are people that are doing the bullshit. You have the enablers, which are people that kind of co-sign and help the people do the shit. And then you have kind of like the co-signers, where they just don't want women to get mad at them. So they kind of come up with this logic that they need to come with. Yes, there are black men. There are a lot of black men that will fuck a fat bitch. Why? Because there's a lot of broke ass black men. Remember, only 20% of black men make $50,000 or more individually. 20%. If you look at 40%, you're probably dealing with 30 or 40. Just to give you an example, people work entry level in my call center, and the call center that I deal with, people come in there entry level, no drug tests or nothing, making 30. Just to give you an example, that's without overtime. They can overtime their way up into like 30, really 36, 37. Just to give you an example of some real shit. We're talking about somebody with the only thing they got is high school diploma. So you're, and I'm not trying to play nobody or talk nobody. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just trying to tell you like what that is. And that, you know, that opportunity ain't necessarily everywhere. My point is that's in the South too. So you got to keep in mind, if you make 35 in the South, that's like equivalent to probably 50 in the North, 50 or 60 in the North. When you look at cost of living, it's that big of a gap. But a lot of black men, they have these psychological Jason Black did a very thing on this, and I might post it in my community scripture. He did it on the business, where he talked about a man will lie to a woman all the way till a woman gets to 50 years old, where men as a group will tell her you look good for your age, and a woman will interpret that as she still got it, when in actuality that's not what the dude is communicating. And so they don't never see that their value is done until it's actually rock bottom. And by then it's too late. So she knows what the deal is because she has proximity to non-black men, and she know non-black men ain't gonna play that. Now, this thing that she's talking about with becoming a video model, you need to be thicker and bigger. Let's stop it. You can't show me not one video with a fat bitch in it. This the main model. The reality of the situation is you're talking about fat ass, and even then, that's subjective. Because a lot of dudes, this is what the problem is. The problem is you got a lot of black men that they're telling you you're thick when the reality is you're obese. And what they're trying to do is they play that top heavy, bottom heavy bullshit, because you can be obese as far as your waistline. That has nothing to do with your hips. You can be obese, but all the fat is in your ass. So the shit looks obese. And then they just call that shit BBW. But you notice how that shit can't pull nowhere else except in the black community. And quite frankly, that shit can't even pull really like that in a lot of the non-ADOS community, even though it does happen. So that should tell you something. That should tell you something that if you go anywhere else and everybody's saying the same thing, but in a minority you're being told something, that should tell you something. And let's keep this all the way real. If you get in front of dudes that make like $80,000 a year or up, you know good and well that shit ain't flying. You know that ain't flying. That's why a lot of these women that make money in corporate America, they're quote unquote 92s, but they're big, are the biggest ones complaining. Because that shit don't fly. Oh, I make the money, but that don't mean shit. So my point is, I don't care, but you're lying. And you kind of know it. It sounds right. So because it sounds right, oh, this makes sense. So I'm gonna keep on saying it because nobody is really kind of G-checked. But see, the thing is, people don't need to be G-checked because again, if you're a model, then I know you're around them dude, them white boys ain't even tolerating that. And even amongst the girls and the video models, they're not bigger. And that's another thing about weight. And I'm gonna drop the link now, but that's another thing about weight that you on my fucking nerves. Stop lying about weight. Stop lying about weight, because we all know people act like they don't understand what the concept of body mass index is. Like they don't know what that means, what that is. They have no clue. And I'm like, are you fucking serious? Body mass index is pretty much your body fat. So yeah, if you weigh like 100, if you're a female and you weigh, and you're like, let's say you're 5'7" and you weigh like 160 pounds, 70 pounds, but your body mass index is like under is like 18%, then that's gonna be much better than the same chick, this same height and weight, when her body mass is like 35%. And 18% is very low for a woman because women are going to have less muscle. This is why really women, black women in particular, they need to focus on putting muscle on their legs because muscle burns fat. And then making sure their arms are toned, and then everything else will take care of itself, even if they want the ass and titties. A lot of these women, I can show you pictures of women that are skinny because I know I can show you pictures. I know exactly what she's talking about when she's talking about it, but she's not explaining it correctly. In fact, I'll try to pull up pictures to show you what I mean, so y'all can see kind of what I'm talking about. In fact, I got a picture for y'all right now. Yeah, what's up, Sigma?
Hey, what's good, brother?
Nothing. I know I talked a lot of shit. We gonna deal with this fat shit today.
Well,
All right, I got you, Charles. Yeah, what's up?
I was saying, like, in regards to what you were just mentioning, because I really came on because I saw that your title was about that fake kidnapping, and because I'm in
Oh yeah, we can talk about that right now too.
because I'm in
Yeah.
jail right now for at least another week, possibly 3 months. So we'll see how that appeal goes.
Oh shit, they got you?
Yeah, man, they got me, but they give you a chance to appeal it. So I appealed, and we'll see what happens. I'll know by next week. But right now, they telling me I won't even be able to do no live stream on YouTube or uploads until like March. But it is what it is. That's just part of the game.
That damn Pope. See, you was getting shit that was catching the algorithm, man. See, I ain't never done that. But
Yeah, I got caught live. Like they hit me live over bro. It didn't even make any sense. Like they hit me live over a thumbnail. I was like, what? I mean, I was live and they canceled me. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, where did this come from? And I talked to the people, and it was like, oh, you had a thumbnail, and it was a copyright on the thumbnail. And I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, man. So that's kind of what happened. But they told me I could appeal it. I appealed it, and we'll see what happens.
They do that shit on. There's so little trans. At the end of the day, and I hate to say it, this is the type of shit to where I'm like, you know what? This is where people always talk about you can't be Republican, you can't have like conservative views and liberal views. I'm like, shit. I will. Some of these tech companies had a fuck regulated out of them.
Well,
they really. It's time.
The thing that was so crazy about it, because see, before they made the recent change in their terms. If you had a copyright issue, they would let you do your live stream. They would let you use your upload, and then they would hit you on the back end because see, it's wrong to cut someone off in a live stream over the accusation of an infringement because okay, now you win the appeal, but you just lost your whole stream because they cut it off. They did it on the back end before. Now they're doing it on the front end now. You see what I'm saying?
It don't matter. You're just getting bold with it, and no, absolutely. And it doesn't even matter because it's like copyright. Like I've seen the posts you post. Most of the shit you do ain't like that's some shit that's usually for entertainment.
Man,
so that's usually all that Star Wars shit.
I talked to the copyright owner, and she was real cool. In fact, she was, she was real cool. We had an actual personal conversation, and after she realized that I wasn't doing anything malicious, she was actually, very helpful, and she retracted it. But it's still up to YouTube to determine if they're gonna accept her retraction. But it is what it is, man. I mean, we just keep it moving, and we keep the conversation going from platform to platform. But I wanted to speak on that fake kidnapping because one of the things that I feel like that's being left out, people aren't talking enough about the fact that one, if it was white women doing this to black men, it would be all over the news. People would be talking about it. And two, if it was being done to black women by black men, it would be all news. And the third thing, why aren't people talking about this from the standpoint of a hate crime against black men? Okay, New York City. People forget that New York City has a lot of hate crime laws, dude. Man, they're so strict that you can get a ticket for saying the word illegals, for calling a Latino illegal. But they also have a bunch of hate crime laws in the state of New York. So this happened in New York, and anyone that's doing that kind of thing, or like what the Broad did down there in Atlanta, we're not looking at how dangerous of ground that they're creating for black men. These are black women going around putting random black men's lives at risk by faking these kidnappings and these hoaxes. Oh yeah, the girl on the left is nice. Now see, she got like a nice slim.
No, that's the same chick.
Which one?
That's the same person from like 2013 to now.
Yeah, see, she got like one of those nice little slim, fit
Yeah, I'm gonna get to it, Charles. I just wanted to point this, and we'll get to the other topic to let people know this is where we're going in a second. But this is the right one is from her in 2013. The left one is her now, and she built muscle. And so that's what these women a lot of times are talking about when they say dudes don't like what's on the right. They would prefer on the left. But what they're not
necessarily true, though. That ain't
but that's not necessarily true, but that's what they're talking about. And I'm like,
they always, bro, this is what I've come to realize with these broads out here, man. Whatever they want to do, and yeah, the brother did. She might have booty shots though, but whatever they want to do, they can't just accept that they want to do it. Okay. And I was just having the same kind of conversation on Mr. Fantastic panel the other day where I was saying brothers want to do things, but then don't want to be held accountable. And to me, that's bitch madeness. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna see the women across the rainbow.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what I want to do, and these hoes doing what they want to do, but they can't never be just tell the truth. Like I'm doing this because I want to do it, or I'm trying to compete with other women. That's why you do it. Don't got nothing to do with what the average man thinks about it, man.
But that's the problem right there. And by the way, whoa.
Hey, what up, bro?
Yeah, what's up? What's up?
That's the problem. I've trained men, I train women. This is the stupid shit that I get through when I train people in physical fitness. I want to lose my stomach. The body doesn't work that way. You got to work the entire body out. That's why you have the shame. Oh, you can't handle a woman with some size. I don't. Just because I can bench press 470 pounds don't mean I want to sleep with it. And the whole shame.
No, go ahead. I'm not an expert.
The whole shaming part of it is that I should accept your mediocrity, but you only accept my greatness. The world doesn't work that way. Yeah, you need to work out, ladies, especially the black ones. But we all know black men love food.
Well,
I got. Hold on. I'm about to. I got you, Sigma. But Charles, I got a question. What? I know you done heard it, so I want you to speak to this. What will you tell? Have you ever told a woman that they need to build some muscle, and have they ever given you the Serena Williams excuse? I don't want to look like Serena Williams, and you know. And
we never said anything about Serena Williams. This is the bullshit excuse I get all the time. I don't want to look manly. You don't have the hormones unless you're shooting up testosterone and steroids. It's bullshit. Like you asked me for my help, but this is the thing I hate about black people, and I love people, but I fucking certain shit I hate. You ask the experts, but then you question the experts.
Yeah.
It's like when you call the police. When you call the police and I come to state and I tell you what you can and cannot do, what your rights are, but no, I want this. No, that cannot happen. See, a lot of women, I want to lose my stomach. No, you got to do a lot of shit to lose your stomach. You got to work your entire body out. You can't just pick which part of the body loses the fat. It does not work that way. So what happens is you want to do this workout. This is what you typically see. They get on that little thigh master, that Suzanne Summers bullshit that you see in Planet Fitness. They get on the treadmill at a snail's pace. Then they might do a little bit of leg exercises or pick 20 pounds and do a few squats, and they're done. And they still look like with their 3 girlfriends, the one skinny one at the end, they still look like the number 100 coming out there. So it's the fact that you got creatures that won't live in reality at some point. And that's very dangerous, because now you're looking at women who still want to compete out there. What the fuck are you doing still competing for men at 50 and 60 is beyond me.
Well, when you don't got nobody at home, you got no choice but to compete.
Well, when you got a shitty attitude and you're not the prettiest thing walking, whose fault is that? I've said this before on the panel that black women need to smile a little bit more.
Well,
why should I smile? Okay, and you wonder why you don't have a man.
Yeah, they don't. They are having that issue now because more and more men are bouncing out like I don't care. But you know, when you don't take accountability for your failings, you're never gonna progress in the long term. And the brother brought up BMI, but when it comes to a woman, I don't care so much about her BMI as I do her body fat. Because that's
what it is.
That is what it is.
Because we focus on BMI, which is very accurate on average. But if you want to know what a woman looks like, you just need to know her body fat, because some women they'll have like a I knew a female that I dealt with that I still to this day cannot believe that she weighed 180 pounds. She told me, right? Because I typically don't like to date a woman that weighs over 140, but this woman had like almost a 6-pack with like a 48-inch ass and hips.
That's because she carried a lot of muscle.
Yeah, a lot of
that's the only thing. That's the reason why you need to go buy a BMI. There's no fucking way in the world you're gonna have 6-pack abs.
Yeah.
You don't have enough muscle to carry it. That's a lot of muscle.
You gotta have muscle. So that's why.
It's not see, this is the point when I train people. The scale is not your friend, it's the mirror. If you're mad because you got flab over your goddamn and muffin top over your goddamn jeans, then do something about it. Start working out. You need to accept me for what I am. No, nobody has to accept shit. Just like you can do bad all by yourself. We can be fat all by ourselves.
Well, I know. I told the brothers about a woman I know that weighs like 350 pounds, and she just now had a baby, and she hasn't been a new mom 6 months, and she done already ran through another dude. So it's like,
and guess what? Here's the point. I'm gonna say this shit, and I don't give a fuck who's mad at me, because I'm used to people being mad at me. Can't whoop my ass. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. Number one, ain't no nigga who worth his shit is gonna be dating a fat bitch.
Not worth this shit. Nope.
But the only niggas who fucking 340-pound bitches looking like the second coming of Bam Bam Bigelow are broke ass niggas or niggas with no standards at all.
And the problem is it's too much of a big supply of dudes like that though. See, the problem is that it'd be one thing if it was a very few guys like that, but it's a lot of them out there.
I like them. You know why? I like them. You know why? Because I don't get hassled by big bitches.
But here's the thing. When you say it's a lot of dudes like that, if you look at what because I'm gathering pictures. So we about to look at body types. We about to look at all of this shit because we about to cut the bullshit. So I know Alyssa's definitely welcome to hear and have her opinions, but this ain't about being thirsty. This is about basically showing what
nobody thirsty for shit, because guess what? If I show you all the women I've dealt with, guess what? I'll just say this real quick because I know the motherfucker's trolling. I've dealt with women that in their 40s who would make 20-year-old women commit suicide. Okay? Because they work out.
What are you talking about, man?
Some of you motherfuckers are fat and you're lucky you got a cute face. That's what your saving grace is. But a motherfucker who actually has some standards don't want you. That's the reason I couldn't find a man on my level. Because your level is sinking into the floorboards. That's why.
Your level is all you can eat. That's her level.
Well. Take it to the goddamn restaurant and she order everything but please and thank you, come again.
Old country buffet is their level.
Absolutely, but when they say their level, they talk about economic level. When it's like,
they mean all. You gotta understand. When a woman talks, they talk in a all-encompassing mode. Yeah. Okay. So they want fucking Shamar Moore mixed with fucking Idris Elba, nigga with a dick like a fire hose, 10-pack abs, 5 social studies degrees, all this other bullshit. But they don't want to talk about the fact of the matter that you looking like fucking Humpty Dumpty, and you're 5'3" and you're 220 pounds.
Yeah.
They don't live in the reality that I gotta compete for a man. I don't need to do. You know how many times I ask this question? What does a woman? When you ask a woman, what do you bring to the table? I don't think that's a good question to ask a woman. You goddamn right, that's a good question to ask.
Oh my god!
I can give you an example of a thick chick that's like what I call like healthy thick. Now this woman weighs like 200 pounds. She weighs like 200 pounds, but she got a flat stomach and like a 50-inch ass. She's an East African broad, but she weighs 200 pounds, but her body fat is very low for a woman, and that's why.
How tall is she? How tall is she?
Probably like about 5'8", 5'7". I'm gonna
probably pull it off.
That's why
Enough muscle, you can probably pull it off.
Yeah, like this stuff is hold on. This stuff is not but the problem is, and I'm about to give you tall chicks, short chicks, because it's different. Like 5'3" and 5'7" is actually a very big difference. So if you say somebody's like 170 pounds and they 5'3", that is a big difference.
Huge difference. Huge difference.
And they kind of minimalize even 5'5" to 5'7" or 5'8" is a big gap. And see, that's that shit they play off of. And by the way, you know how a chick is when she taking these angled pictures and shit.
Oh,
you know what they're doing. But my point is,
man, a chick caught me with one of those angled pictures recently, man. She caught my ass, man. She was looking real good with the angle and the filter, and then I caught her with a regular picture. I'm like, these bitches are magicians with these angles, man.
They know, they learn, but these phones, man, they done learn how to manipulate that shit. But no, we gotta put, because my thing is right here is I just want to cut past the bullshit because they know what time it is. And most of these chicks are black, but some of them, because I want to get the body types in here. We're gonna have different body types, so it may be.
I got my Instagram up too, so I want to show you a couple of what I'm talking about. But I want to show you this specifically what a man, when he says a woman is thick, should be saying. Versus what these dudes out here talking about, Lizzo thick. Like, you dudes need to just.
That's because niggas are thirsty. What is the culture? First and foremost, you got to go back into the Sigmund Freud. Tell me about your mother.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother has built you up to be the thirstiest nigga. I mean, Sahara Desert thirsty.
For real, you right about that, man.
And then here's the point. Well, you need to get a girl with some meat on her bones. And mama's 350. So because mama doesn't want you to bring home a better looking woman than her, because women have egos, don't forget that. She wants you to get the carbon copy of her. She wants you to stay. That's the trick bag of the gynocracy.
Mm-hmm.
It's that they always stay on code. Don't get a woman who treats nice.
Yeah.
Well,
don't get a woman who looks nice.
Going back to that, because last night, a girl last night did say something that kind of sparked my interest. She said that men want her to gain weight. And what I've noticed in my life through my personal experience is that women are the ones perpetuating that you need to gain weight on each other. I see that with black women more than I see it with black men. I saw it with somebody, with the daughter and her mother telling her daughter, you need to put on some weight, being skinny ain't cute. Like, I've seen this shit.
Yeah, that's a lie. Men want you to gain body. They don't want you to gain weight. There's a difference in how they communicate it. Go ahead.
This is the point. When you training somebody, you're gonna see more muscularity. Women think that if you lift a goddamn weight, if you look at a goddamn weight, you're gonna become Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, which is not true. They don't want to be toned because guess what? The biggest kryptonite to most black women is hard work. Yeah. Dedication, giving a fuck about yourself.
Now,
I've never seen a woman who takes care of herself have the worst luck with men. She's usually going to get the top tier. Mm-hmm. Motherfuckers, like, how do you know you're a 9 or 10? Go down to Baltimore where I live. Can you get a Raven? Can you get a Warrior? Can you go down there and say, hey, I want a Ravens player? Can you physically do that without even opening up your goddamn mouth? No, get your ass in the gym. And see, the point is, they think so little of black men and their opinions and their facts that we shouldn't even talk about their weight. We shouldn't even talk about their hair. We shouldn't talk. So this proves the point that black women do not dress to impress or capture a man. They compete with each other.
Yep.
That's why you get all this confusion. Why do I need to work out? I'm fine the way I am. Because you're delusional, bitch. You want me to accept your bullshit, but I always got to stay on point.
Well, because that's how they see you, sex and labor. But see, if let's keep it real. If a non-black man tells them this same shit, all of a sudden they understand it, and they just listening and going with it. And this is a big reason why a lot of black women don't hop, because it ain't that they don't want to; it's that they know what the price of admission is, and they know that's so. And this is why they get angry when they. And I'm not saying dudes should do it, but I'm saying this is why they get angry when they do see it. This is why they think they doing something when they do got somebody over there, no matter what that dude is because of that. But that's another. But Yeah, we about to get into this because I got the pictures out almost one.
Edward, check the private check. I gave you an example of what I call like thicky thick versus slim thick, and you can compare it to what you would define as, because I got some girls are slim thick, some are healthy thick, some are fit thick, and some are thicky thick. That range is as far as I go, and usually that range is between 100 pounds to about 180 depending on her height. But it depends on her height and how well she carries muscle and her body fat. But I gave you an example in picture form, and you could tell me if you agree with those categories that I put on there.
Okay, and this the first one I'm gonna put up is really this is the more see what y'all think, just straight up, because
K Michelle is a fake body, bro. What the hell you talking about?
Huh?
No, someone said K Michelle ass is thick. She ain't thick. She got
there's a lot of dumbass, but there's a lot of dumbass niggas out here too.
That woman admitted herself that she got her ass removed.
Okay.
Thirstiness is a goddamn shame.
Hey, Edward, did you notice that girl last night said K Michelle was 160 pounds? I looked up K Michelle. She's only 120. And that just goes to show that black women don't even, She
didn't know what she was talking about with all that. And Obsidian was kind of fucking with her with that. But she was just throwing shit. Like, the problem is she was talking to a narrative and not really having a conversation. Obsidian was kind of messing with her. But yeah, that's what that was.
Point. If here's a cheat sheet for black women. If you do squats and lunges and deadlifts, not only will you tighten your legs up, you'll actually get a big ass.
And up that
the ass is a muscle.
Up that protein intake, man.
Black women, I've been telling black women for years that their salvation is in the gym. I mean, they have.
She never had a big ass before her implant. She had to take them out.
Black women's salvation is in some etiquette classes. Gym is on they attitude maybe even worse than the body, in my opinion. I think their attitude is the problem.
You know what makes you real humble is the gym.
Yeah.
Because now when you got to work hard to get attention and to see somebody for who they are, you're gonna treat people a bit differently.
Yeah, but black women are also taught. They're also taught by their parents that not having, like, speak your mind. A lack of decorum is seen as a good quality in the black community. And that's where their attitude comes from.
I never understood that, bro. I never quite understood that, like how a lack of etiquette and bad decorum and all that, how that benefits. I just never even understood that, man.
Well, if you they put that under the category of you don't speak your mind, you're being ran all over. Unless you don't speak your mind in every situation.
Well, that's a value situation. That's the values they have, and this is why they get the outcomes that they get. But this is gonna be a first one. I got a lot more, but this first one, she's 5'10".
Now, of course, she's tall. You can see her next to other people. She's tall.
See, she's healthy thick because you got to look at the waist. She has a very, very slim waist, tight stomach, and she just has.
She actually has visible abs.
Yeah, she has visible abs, and she just has a tremendously thick thighs and muscular ass. See, that's what I mean when I say like a fit, healthy, thick type chick.
I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't a former athlete.
She probably was like a track star or rugby player. I've seen a lot of girls that were soccer players or rugby chicks with body types like that.
See, the problem with black men is this. Black men are the garbage men of the dating world.
Yeah.
And I said it once, I'll say it again. Niggas don't like it, fight me.
I don't know why they don't understand that. Like, oh, it ain't me. Well, we ain't talking about you. We talking about in general.
The first niggas who said it ain't me, go look at their last 5 girlfriends. Trash, and garbage.
Most of them dudes don't even got 5 girlfriends. They don't even have
exactly. Like no fucking, and I like to say this, no incel motherfucker can tell me one thing about women when they scared to even approach them. So there. And it gets to the point where, because physical fitness is one of my things, it gets to the point where I could tell if a woman was an athlete or not just by looking at her, looking at the stride, looking at her posture, looking at her mannerisms. There are some people who hit the genetic jackpot.
Yep.
Yeah. There are some people who they're lucky the weight sits at the nice part. Yeah. Otherwise, you would be fat. And sometimes you need to hit the weight, even if your body is great or good or is in the same, that doesn't mean you don't need to go to the gym. Because The metabolism will shut down like a fucking light bill, like an unpaid light bill.
Well, most women, like you said, you mentioned like the genetic outliers, but most of them, they need to keep their body weight under 140. It's just that simple. Like for most women, they need to keep their body weight below 100.
It depends on the height and the muscle mass.
Yeah,
but
black women carry more testosterone than any other woman, so they're going to carry more muscle and they're going to have thicker bones.
See, I don't think
that thicker bones thing is a myth because I looked it up because I've always heard that all my life about the big bone. That's actually a myth. All skeletons are for the most part.
They have more bone density, so they're going to have the thicker bone structures than most. We have thicker bone structures than Caucasians. Well, that's why the military introduced the BMI, because black people carry more muscle and thicker bone density.
Well, you got to compartmentalize it. I mean, you got to kind of put it into sections where what matters more. When it comes to women, you can go by weight, but you can also go by pant size or dress size.
Yeah.
I think no matter what size no matter how tall you are, if you're above a size 10, you're borderline. Because there's no way you should have that much muscle. There's no way most women can have that much muscle. I meet a woman who's 5'2" and she's 180 pounds. She tells me it's all muscles. I'm like, you must be one strong bitch.
Bullshit. Because I know a lot of women that like. Okay, you know what's funny, Archer? Okay, I was looking at these female Olympians, right? You know these female Olympian chicks. Did you know that even those bras that steroids and all that shit, them bras only be wearing like 135?
But Serena Williams
it depends on because if they're doing weightlifting. If you're in weightlifting, Olympic weightlifting, those are weight classes, so that's not correct. And dress sizes, hell no, because once again, you're going by European standard. I cannot fit an Italian cut suit. Well, so in other words, you cannot go necessarily by dress sizes.
Yeah, I don't know about
dress sizes. And she has naturally thick thighs. Or naturally, because of certain sports, promotes that. And certain athletic endeavors promotes that. You got to go by 1, what's her lifestyle? 2, does she work out? 3, what's the capacity that she works out? 2.
Well, I know is that these. I looked at a Miss Olympia one day, and I'm not talking about Olympic weightlifting. I'm talking about
Miss Olympia. But Miss Olympia is not the average. That's
no. I'm just giving an example of like how Miss Olympia, like a lot of times you'll think
they cut, but you got to remember those women who get on those bodybuilding stages. That's not their normal weight. That's their competition weight.
Yeah, but these chicks that are on stage at their competition, I'm actually shocked at how little.
What was that chick you just had up?
No, that wasn't the right one I wanted to
Some of these chicks on there,
she was fat.
That's their competition. That's not their walk around weight, their training weight. That's their competition.
No, I know that's not their walk around weight, but I'm only referring.
So you think a girl at 5'2", 170 pounds?
That's not
size 11.
Hold on, y'all jumping. That's the problem. Y'all coming to these damn extraordinary shit. Nobody's talking about 5'2", this, that. Like, for instance, this woman is 208, and this is what Charles talked about with the playing weight shit. She's 220 when she's bulking up, and she's 208 when she's turned down. She's 5. She's another 5, like, I think 9.
She got to be 5'9", 5'10" to carry that the way she carries it. Yeah. At least she's damn almost 6 feet tall to carry it like that. So you can't go by dress size because guess what? She's not going to fit a fucking 6. That's why I keep telling brothers, see, black people go through one extreme to the next and never the medium. And
I don't know about the dress size. I just know that most of the women.
It's like, for instance, if I got back into competition in wrestling, right? I would cut 10 to 15 pounds to make heavyweight. I'm about 285. I still got visible abs. So my competition weight or to go back into MMA would have to be 260, 265, which is the limit. So even at 280, I still have visible abs. Most people don't even know how heavy I am. My coworkers never figure it out until they were like, good God. Yes, because muscle weighs a lot. You got to remember, if you took 5 pounds of fat, 5 pounds of muscle, what has more volume?
Well, the fat's going to have more volume. The density is in the muscle. The muscle has more density. But I'm just saying, for me,
that has more value.
Cocaine Kells get up on the panel because she's done competitions before.
All I know is that most of the women I deal with, they panty size is like.
Then how do you think? What's the metric?
Well, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. And we're
There's no such thing as a maximum weight. You got to go by one. Does she has visible? You got to go by not only BMI, if it's possible. You also got to go by, does she have physical traits that says she lives a healthy lifestyle? What does she eat? Does she train? Does she have visible? Does she have visible or close to visible, muscularity? We're not talking about going absolute, but some sort of like telltale signs that she trains.
That's why I like body.
At the end of the day, we're not going to get anywhere unless we create some type of metric, some type of standard. Because if you're saying size 10 can't be it.
I think the best standard is body fat.
If you got that chick put that chick back up there who's 208.
Body fat percentage is the best indicator, in my opinion.
Hold on, I don't want to beat y'all, but I just want to make this comment. Y'all, the problem with y'all is y'all trying to eyeball shit without actually eyeballing it. Y'all trying to see people without actually seeing them. So y'all want to come up with what is the perfect thing to like, dress size, this size, this size. So basically, without you seeing them, you can put together something. There is no perfect way of doing that. There just isn't, because you have to see body type to kind of know, okay, based on what I've seen, given that, this is how this lines up. This is why I asked the question about height. Like somebody said, they 200 something. The first thing I'm gonna ask, fuck that top heavy, bottom heavy. How tall are you?
She must be like 6 feet tall.
Because here's the thing: if you 208 and you like 5'5", 5'4", okay, there is no other questions need to be asked.
She's like Emmett Smith up in this motherfucker, man.
No, you got to think about it. Like Camille Russo, she's pretty popular on Instagram. She's 5'3", maybe 5'4", anywhere from 5'2" to 5'4", and she's about 125 to 130 pounds, 35 at the most. You can tell she has the ass and the legs, but she carries a lot of muscle. So look at this woman. I wish you could make it bigger, but I'm on my phone, so I'm gonna turn it sideways.
Let me see.
Look at her legs. Look at her legs. Does that look like somebody who's obese?
No, this woman's not obese.
Can you see the definition of her thighs?
Is that a little bit better?
How tall is that woman?
Can you see? Can you see the matter of fact? You could damn near see the teardrop in her quads. You see that? Right, go put your arrow right on her quads. Even at 220, look at the definition.
That's pretty.
As a matter of fact, go to the waist. Go to the waist while she's 220. You see the definition at her waistline?
Yeah, she's an outlier.
But what dress size, what pants size do you think she wears?
And what's her it's hard to say. I don't wear dresses.
Because like that kind of muscularity, and you said, and if Edward says she's on, you said 5'7".
No,
and what's her page?
See, this I'm on her page right now. So you guys,
I'm going to Instagram right now. I'm going to Instagram right now.
I mean, if I was a guess,
Edward, I posted a couple in the private chat, man, that I would say that fits what I'm talking about. But I posted like 4 examples in the private chat, and they range from slim, thick to healthy.
Yeah, I got what you're saying. I mean, that gives me. I'm gonna pull those up too, but that gives me like this is another picture.
What's the name of that?
It's AADJAH.
I got it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. She carries a good amount of muscle.
I mean,
you can still even in her non-competition weight where she's a little softer.
Yeah.
Even when she's softer, you can still see the striations in her damn stomach. You can still see the definition.
Now this is high. We talk about in the 200, so we're not even talking about like what's normal.
Yeah,
we're going and see. This is the point that people don't understand is outliers.
Yeah, she's an outlier.
Yeah. So that's not the normal. The normal female is about 5'4" to 5'5".
Yeah, so let's go. So let's go more to that, because that way y'all could talk about that. Because I got one for you, and now it's gonna be a before and after, so y'all see it. Because
if she's now, how tall did you say she was, Edward? Or you don't know?
Like 5'10".
See, I'm 5'10", and I weigh like 160 pounds, and that's amazing to me to see a woman at that weight at the same height as me. To that
Do you work out?
I've been working out. I was an all-state football player and track star, so I've always worked out since about 15.
But you're thinner. That makes sense because
I wouldn't call myself really thin though. I'm pretty much like built. I'm a built guy, and I'm 160.
160. No.
Yeah.
That's
Not on football level. You built maybe track like a track dude, but like when you talk about football,
I'll put up a picture. I'll put up a picture. And I'll give you an example. You'll be surprised at how much muscle you can see. Cats get caught up in weight. It still comes down to your body fat. If you're 200, but you got a body fat of like 25%, and I got a 10%. My body fat is like 10%, 9%.
I believe that. That's why I said the thin part. Like
that's not a big guy. You can have cut. You can be cut, but that's still not a big guy for 5'10".
Yeah, but he said thin. Thin is like 130, 40 pounds.
Oh, you could be 5'10" and 160 and still thin.
Charles, it's
just that you just have a difference. The majority of your weight will come from muscle compared to
because to me, it would mean like that you got like arms that are like 13 inches or something like that. That's what thin means.
I didn't say skinny. I said thin.
What's the difference between thin and skinny?
You ain't got no muscle. So you be like 135, which you just said. The 135, 5'10", 135.
See, to me, thin and skinny is the same thing.
No, it's not.
When I say slim is different. Like if someone says,
right, so now we're getting hung up on the words. I get that, and you could be right about the slim thing. I'm just telling you what I meant when I said it. So because when you said you're 160, that says okay, you must not have a lot of body fat on you.
Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, I'm like 10% body fat though.
Exactly, which is actually very low.
But I'm saying for that female, when I hear a female that's my height and she's like 220 almost, that's incredible that she could be able to maintain
not really
a flat stomach like that to me. That's
because I've seen women at 180 at 5'7", not necessarily the flat stomach, but if everything sit right.
You said what?
I've seen a woman at 5'7". Now I like this one because this is a good comparison. So she's 5'3". Is Charles? Yeah, hopefully Charles comes back. But hold on, do I got everybody on this bitch? Archer, okay, Archer. Oh, my bad. Okay, Archer. Yeah, Charles, come back because Charles, when he gets a chance, I don't know if he's doing, obviously a job. Sigma, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so she's 5'3".
Mm-hmm. Now, see, she looked like she's about 120 pounds to me.
Now,
on the picture on the right.
Yeah, on the right, not on the left, on the right. Yeah, not on the left.
No, on the left, on the left, because she was married on the left, and dude said she was fat.
Can I guess right quick? She's 170 on the left.
No, I think she was like 200.
About 200 on the left, bro.
She was 200 because then she said it.
I even get that just looking at her. You can look at her and tell she about that weight for sure.
But that gives you an idea of the difference. Now she lost weight, but she also built muscle. See, a lot of folks, what they don't understand with women, what women should do, Charles may have a different opinion because he's more of an expert, but women don't understand. They look at it like losing weight. They don't understand the difference between body fat and muscle, like what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. If you're a woman, and a lot of women will be like, oh, well, I don't want to be built like Serena. I don't want to be built like a man. First of all, you put a lot of the muscle in your legs because ain't no dude is gonna get upset about no tight leg, so I mean, obviously women can't build their legs so big but they gonna be masculine, tall, thick thighs, strong, and that's where the muscle's gonna be, and then all the other stuff is more toned down. So and this is where the ass is. This is what these white girls are learning. These white girls are doing squats and shit. Now that shit takes a long time, but they do it over time, and they're been. I got a picture of that shit too. And then these women, they trying to find a quick. That's why they doing surgery. What did I put this shit? But she was like 220, and then she I got so many of these bullshits up. My bad. She lost the weight, and then she kind of built the muscle back on it too, and then that's how she got to where she is. But she's only 5'3".
I'm gonna try to.
Yeah, but the muscle keeps the skin tight too. That's why
exactly
after you lose the weight. Because if you lose the weight, you get that floppy skin. You got to build the muscle in order to keep that skin tight.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta have. It's a balance. You know what I'm saying? Many people think that it's all about the cardio, but it's really about the diet, cardio, and strength training. You actually burn a lot of fat with high intensity core exercises like squats, bench presses. And you add in like the cardio to tighten things up, but you got to have a mixture. You know what I'm saying, man or woman, you need a mixture.
But if we're talking about Black American women, the average Black American woman is dress size 18. Her average body weight's about 180 to 120.
See, I want to know their body fat. That's what I want to know, the average body fat of the same women that you're mentioning. Because again, the dress size and all that stuff can be deceiving. You know what I'm saying? It could be deceiving.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Y'all like none of it, like all of it is good information, but what you don't want to do is just go, oh, dress size means all of this. Now, obviously, if that's what you do for what you do based on what you know, you can do that. But body fat is the same thing. Now, most folks are gonna be able to tell you their dress size and not their body fat, body mass index. But this is why if you do dress size and height, that tells you a lot of what you need to know.
Like, but I think dress size is better because then you can if you put the dress size down, that can be the metric. You can talk about the outliners later.
If you've seen a picture of them and you ask them what their dress size is, then yeah, you'll be able to eyeball that shit most likely. And the problem is, the reason why I put this up is when women want to talk about, well, the dudes like me bigger. The truth is, dudes, that's not what they mean when they say bigger. That's your excuse to eat, and that's what you're looking for. And you need to stop bullshitting like dudes want you fat, because ain't nobody saying that. Like, I got another example for y'all ass too of what people mean when Consistent George said that too. Hold on 1 second.
But they have to understand what dudes like, what the type of dudes they're saying this mean. When they say they like big chicks, they don't technically talking about they like the way these women look. They like the easy access to pussy that big chicks offer. And that's what they like, and they understand how to talk to the big chicks in order to get that access. But they're not technically meaning they like the way you look. They just like how easy it is to get you.
Dudes, and then so this is another good example right here. So you see, she was 118. She's 5'3". She's 118, 163. But see, that's all muscle.
Yeah, but that's so rare.
I understand that. That's not what I'm talking. The reason why I put the rare ones up on purpose is to give you extremes of what these things exaggerate when you do it. This is not about judging women. Or this is what I like, so I not like. This is judging the exaggeration so people can get the point. So this is so when motherfuckers. So anyway, because I ain't trying to yell at y'all. When people say, "Oh, well, you need to gain weight, you thin," they don't mean by you increasing your stomach. What they mean is this. You need to work out and build muscle. And if you notice, a lot of that shit is right here. And also you see the ass as far as the lifting weight, the squats right here. Because she talks about this in her story, and her boyfriend's like a black dude workout, blah, blah, blah. But you see the exaggeration, so you see the difference in what muscle can do, even in somebody that's shorter. Because you see all of it is right here. Yeah, some of it's here and here, but the arms ain't really that different if you notice.
I'm wondering if you could share, I wonder if you could share the screen, or you got
so
only you can do that.
Let me go ahead and put your stuff on here, because I ain't trying to, because you did share them, because I want you to get your people know exactly what you're talking about too.
Yeah, because I think that what I'm showing is like more average than versus outliers.
Yeah, well, the reason why I'm not showing averages is because averages, you know, watch. Well, I saw the pictures, so I see, you know. They go, oh, but that's just what you like, and and that's the point that I'm talking about. Like they're gonna focus on the light skin and stupid shit like that. And the averages, it's not about the average. I was trying to exaggerate the points that I mean of what I'm saying. But anyway, I got the first one. This the Habisa.
Hey, Edward, let me show you something real quick. I'm gonna give you an example of what I'm talking about. Let me just show you.
Well, where is it? Yeah, this is the first one you did.
Let me just show you something real quick. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
This is like one of my workouts. I mean, I don't think I'm thin, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I get what you're saying, but you're taking it away that's not communicating. You got dudes that are built like running backs, that are built like linemen. You seem like you built like you would be a wide receiver. I wouldn't even say cornerback, but like a wide receiver. Wide receivers are you know, they're built a certain type of way. You know, that's all I'm saying. You took it.
Yeah,
like, oh, you a little nigga. Like, no, I'm not saying it that way. Exactly what you're talking about.
Workout that I did.
Let's see. So let's do this. This is the one you was putting out too. So how tall is she?
I think she's about 5'4".
5'4".
Yeah, about 5'4", 125.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's how I like them. I like my women to be slim, thick, bro. I like them just like that. That's how I like them.
Well, see, I wouldn't even consider her thick. That's the thing. Like, it just depends. I wouldn't even consider her thick. Like, let me tell you.
You see
like,
what I'm saying? See, that's what I'm saying. See, different brothers. See, to me, she's thick because she has a nice tight waist and a nice bubble. That's what I call thick. But other brothers, like the ones you showed to Kathy Drayton, that's what you call thick. See,
no, that's
like,
not. No,
thick.
That's the
she's
problem
not really thick
in the
either.
black
Like the
I call
one.
her slim thick. She's
everything's
slim
so
thick to me.
free flowing.
Well, like if you look at what I'm talking about, well, there's everybody's gonna have their own opinion, but then you have like exaggerated opinions, which are dudes that are calling obese chicks thick. That's the problem. And you got dudes that actually will try to pull that shit. Like for instance, if I say what in my there's two things. If I don't date thick chicks like that. But if you want me to give you an example, to me this is like slim thick.
Black community can range from 100.
That's to me what that is. But you see what I'm talking about? I ain't even seen the thing to see if motherfuckers are talking shit.
I mean, thick means anything in the black community. It means whatever you want it to mean.
Pretty much.
It does. And, but at the end of the day, to most black men, when they say you're thick, you really are obese, and when they say you're fat, you're really morbidly obese.
Now,
that's
Arthur,
really what that means.
Now, for you, do you think of? Do you have the category of? See, I consider slim thick. I like a woman that's slim thick, and I call a girl that's slim thick someone that's like the one
that's average.
No,
I this girl right here, she's like healthy. She's like fit thick to me. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I think slim thick is just a feminine term women made up to more muddy the waters. And I think what black women just like hearing the word thick. So they want to add thick to everybody's definition. So they say slim thick. Well, that's kind of an oxymoron, because if you're slim, slim, and you're thick, you're thick. It doesn't really, I mean, it just becomes so it comes where it means everything, so it means nothing at all. And that's what
I think of a slim thick female as one that's slim up top but thick in her waist and hips. That's what I call slim.
Well, and see, that's what they want you to think, because then you got dudes that are out. But see, the problem is, the problem with most black men is they think if the ass, like there's like all asses are not created equal. You got the ass that I showed at Kathy Drake, and then you got that BBW ass that they want to say I'm bottom heavy. And that's what they did in Friday. That's what a lot of these chicks be trying to pull.
Yeah, she tried pulling that last night. I'm bottle head.
No, wait. I know you're not talking about the original Friday.
Yes.
That's obese. Come on.
But that's what they try to say. And that's
how muddy the waters is. That's how muddy the water has become.
But I'm not saying what you talking about. We're talking about because we know you got options. We talk about what the niggas that are saying this shit.
That's crazy. If we're talking about that woman is thick, then I guess we need to just throw away the word thick.
I done had dudes get online and on YouTube, on the Rumble and on shit and actually say this shit. This is not this stuff. A lot of dudes say BBWs are thick. That's why they like them. That's what they're pushing. That's like, I get what you saying, and that's not a minority. That's a lot of people.
Damn, bro. I didn't know that's what brothers did. Yeah, that's what they meant.
Thick means anything. Well, you call any girl thick, you're playing to her emotions. It's basically a game tactic. It's not really has any definition. It's just a tactic used to get the woman to feel good.
What's the alternative? Because what's really average? Like when I look at like this picture, when I look at the one I just showed you, see, that's average. See, look, this is what the fuck she used to look like.
Now, which one did you say is average?
This is average. Well, when I say average, I'm talking about average of what it's supposed to be. You say
I don't see anything on the screen.
Yeah, I don't either.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, that black screen is very average. But
yeah, you see tabs. Okay, so can you see it now?
Yeah, I see it now.
All ours. See, to me, this is average of what it should be. I'm not saying what it is.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Yeah, she's petite. Well, I would even call her petite.
Yeah, she's not slim.
I call her petite.
This is like baseline. Yeah.
Petite, fit. Yeah, I would call her petite, fit. That's what
we need to create a new category. We can just create a category and talk about what type of black woman, white man. What type of black woman, white man.
Now, what did you say? Well, I've been told by black women that I like white women's bodies. That's what they tried to tell me before. They say you like, because I like a woman with a pretty face and big tits over a big ass. I would take a woman with a pretty face and big titties over a big ass any day, and an average face any day.
Yeah, that's why they say that, because they saying you don't prioritize the ass. But the problem is there's a difference between having a big ass and then what they be fucking talking about. They're two different things, and they try to exaggerate it and then say that's what dudes like. Now, see, my thing is at the end of the day, you playing yourself, because basically you're attracting dustiness when you do that, and then you get mad and talk about, because dudes has got money, like, are not pulling this bullshit. Now, this is what I'm talking about when I was talking about women ate themselves. Because I'm showing these things just to let people know you're not gonna sit here and say like motherfuckers don't mean what they don't mean, and you try to manipulate that. You know, like we know what we're talking about. It's just people want to play games. So this is a Canadian chick. This is another before and after. Can you see it? Yeah, it's dark skinned woman. So now you're light skin. You see the difference.
You get up in your email like you colorist.
Oh, but it don't matter. I got a whole bunch of dark skin shit.
It don't matter who you talking to. You can have when she was big, somebody could call her thick. When she's on the left, somebody can call her thick, and when she's on the right, somebody can call her thick.
Shout out to BGS.
See, on the left, I'm just calling her fat. That's all I see is fat. On the right,
but dudes would say she's thick. Dudes would try to pull that.
See, on the right, to me, she's like fit thick almost. You know, that's what I would call her on the right. But on the left, I would say she's just fat.
Well, it really depends on where you go then, because if you over there, if you talking to the people on the other side, they say, "Oh, she's good either way, and she's thick on both sides."
Yes, a lot of dudes say that.
Hey, they're better than me.
A lot. I can't tell you how many times I done put that on my my shit. Oh, that's why the shit's disappearing. Okay, because I wanted to show y'all more
You know, guys use the word petite. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hear a lot of older dudes use that word petite, but it's like when I think of a petite woman, I think of someone like a Jada Pinkett. Like, to me, Jada Pinkett is petite. That's what I think when I think
her waistline is working with, because this is what she is now, because she's been losing, like, just to go all the way up. This is what she is now.
See, the problem in the black community, we are the most subjective group of people in America. We even make words that are subjective as fuck. It's like hood rich. Everything about our culture is super fucking subjective. And
so that's a lot of people would say that she done got too skinny now.
Now, what's the difference between petite and skinny?
The hips. The hips.
Yeah.
The hips.
So you would say a woman is skinny if she's petite with no hips. Now, if she's petite if she still has hips. That's what you're saying? Because I've always thought skinny and petite.
They're pretty much the same.
Here's my thing. At the end of the day, people know what they like when they see it. The problem is before you actually see somebody, they want to give you this bullshit with their pictures. This is why people like
used to be fat. It's the same one that used to be fat.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, in this picture right here that you just showed, now she looks thick, like athletic thick.
Well, this is the recent picture. This is what she looks like now.
Yeah, she's still too big for me, but.
So Brother Stoic says petite is short and thin. Yeah, that's like
short
and thin.
Yeah, short.
And this is all her pictures, just so you can see that. Like, not all of them, but so you can give an idea.
Yeah, she's not petite.
Nobody says y'all talking about it.
BGS.
BGS. She ain't petite.
I don't. That's why I was asking about the petite things. I'm like, this woman ain't petite.
Now she's Canadian. This is the West African feature shit they always talk about. Because when they talk about the nose and all that, I be like, I got you. Don't try to fucking play me like, oh, well, you just like a certain body type. I've dated women like this.
Homeboy,
Edward, let me ask you a question. I've noticed something when it comes to generational. See, I think it's it's the Generation X and the Boomers that be mainly gassing the fat chicks up and calling them thick. I see a lot of Generation Z guys. If you go down Instagram and look at who the Generation Z and late millennial pictures, which type of girl they like.
They're younger. That's because they're younger. These dudes weren't doing that shit when they were our age.
But that's the problem. We got older niggas setting the standard for, and
but
older
these
niggas have to
women
accept
ain't
it.
chasing older dudes. So at the end of the day, these women know what it is. These women know what the rules are for the niggas they want to fuck. They
Well,
know what those
I
rules
saw a
are.
picture of Foxy Brown, like that came from my timeline when she was like 25. See, to me, the way that Pam Grier looked back in her prime, like to me, that would be like a
that would be the ideal average.
Yeah, she would be the ideal. Like she had some big, nice breasts, pretty ass face, and a nice bubble. Not no big bubble, but just a nice bubble, flat stomach, some big ass breasts, and a pretty ass face. That to me is the ideal look.
You know what's fucked up? Because we sit here and we talk about all these ideals and all these different type of standards, but at the end of the day, every other race of men has been able to create a standard. They have been able to create a metric and say this is the ideal woman. Black people, everything is every woman is okay. You know, so until we create a metric, our women are going to run all over us with this subjective
Well, I don't
shit.
have any women that I have authority over, but as far as they can run over them dudes, but they ain't running over me.
Yeah, but as a group, we're talking. As an individual, no. But as a group, they're gonna run over us until we come together,
bro. That's where the standards is gonna come from, by you walking off saying I'm not accepting this subjective shit no more. That's what they need. They need. See, this is where the shit is so bogus, like what you just said. All right, the same women that will come to you and say you shouldn't have that standard. The moment a white dude come around, them broads is in a fucking class with 40 other women talking about etiquette, femininity, losing weight. So it's because those dudes is not accepting that shit. They're not accepting the weave. They're not accepting the attitude, and they're not accepting the lard. But
as a group, they're saying no.
You said what?
As a group, though, as a group, they're in one accord as a group.
And this is one of the Gonzalez sisters. She's like 6'2".
Now she got a base. Now she's so like, that's what I'm talking about. Like she's just slim up top, and she got this nice bubble and nice muscular thighs. Like that to me is like a slim thick chick.
Yeah.
But again, the problem is I get it. I'm not talking about what I prefer. I was trying to exaggerate examples of certain concepts that I was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because when folks talk about how they don't understand what muscle is and this and that, and they try to play these games like they don't know what we're talking about, that's really why I wanted to say. Because when it comes to I ain't even talking about preferences. I'm talking about what generally people mean when they say the things that they're saying.
Now that's interesting that Black Gnostic Speaks said that Pam Grier, that she was pretty small in her prime. Because like the picture I saw of her, man, I'm like that's what black women I guess used to look like back then. Mm-hmm. These women out here be trying to look like Nicki Minaj. I'm like, that's not the banging look. The look is
first of all, Nicki Minaj doesn't look like Nicki Minaj because Nicki Minaj. No, seriously, because Nicki Minaj has a fake ass. So I mean, so when you look at what she really looks like, she was very petite. But the thing about it is, she cheated. She basically got she got in that where
she was actually out. That's she was actually cute. Like, she was actually cute to me before she got her butt implant.
A lot of dudes tell them that though, but you can't tell them that.
A lot of dudes used to say that.
Megan Good is a good example. Megan Good is a perfect example how they don't fucking listen. Here is a woman who was beautiful.
I got a metric right here. If I'm hitting from the back, the only thing I want to jiggle is your ass. I don't want your lower back moving.
Dude, I get all that. You talk about your own preferences. That's a problem. No, I get it. And this, what y'all don't understand is what these women will come at is this is where all that color
nice.
Yeah, this is an Indian chick.
Now, how would you describe her and with her body type? What would you
like you know, again, I don't lean into all these fucking words because that shit is just like when I see you, I see you. It ain't no, oh, well, what are you this? What are you that? So a woman can say this and there needs to be a standardization. They know eventually you going to see them. So all that bullshit they say, I'm petite, I'm this, all that description shit, that shit they use. That's why I'll ask, how tall are you? Because first of all, I'm short. So that's one thing I need to know anyway. So, and then on top of that, you know, if you're going to talk about how much somebody weigh, like, you know, that's really all you really need. And all the other stuff, what y'all was saying before is you right. You can calculate the average of something, but first of all, I'm not even approaching people I don't see up front anyway. It ain't like I don't do this talking to motherfuckers on social media like that. As far as in a bitch's DMs, I find a social media. I talk to them. I say, all right, what's your number? What's your social media? If we get to that, but I've already seen them. Fuck that bullshit.
No, you gotta move like that out here now because these chicks be killing me with the filters and the angles, man.
Now, if you want to know what I like, since everybody,
that's what I want to know.
Because you showing us the outliers. I'm kind of curious what like you consider the ideal body type compared to what I'm saying.
Well, it's not an ideal body type. I'm giving you ideal what I like as far as face, all that combination. Like this did as far as what I like. I'm not saying, oh, this is the pinnacle of what it needs to be. And
because I know a lot of women, if you showed them a picture of Pam Grier in her prime, they wouldn't think that that's the kind of body type that black men like, but that's what I like. I like these women trying to look like Nicki Minaj and Kim Kardashian type build a body.
But they're looking at hoes to get attention. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, that's that's their metric is attention. Popularity is their metric for everything.
Man, I like I said, man, you look at like Pam Grier's body type. When I saw that picture on my timeline it was one of those old school black pages, and it just came up, and I'm like, damn, because she just had like some double D titties, slim fucking stomach. She ain't had no big ass 48-inch ass anything, and a pretty.
That's you, Edward. That's you, Edward.
Yeah, I said this is what's up, Mr. Fantastic. Yeah, all right, yeah, I got a chumba up, Mr. Fantastic too.
Okay. Yeah, like she kind of got like your average healthy chick's body type. Very
she
easy to
ain't got a face, but it got a face. But like, and this is another thing when she takes that damn makeup. Let's see.
That's a good point.
She looks like what most black women will look like if they were her size.
If they worked out.
Like she looks like what they would look at. Like she's the type of girl that you'll see a fat girl and say you would be cute if you lose weight.
Yep.
And she's what you would mean.
And you don't need no implants, but all these women are fucking getting surgery. Do you know how many women that I know that got regular office jobs now that I run across that tell me like, oh, I just went and got some boob jobs. I just went and got ass shots. These ain't no they not no actresses. Your everyday working class chick now think that that's what they got to do.
Yeah.
They're trying to compete with IG fucking models, man.
Well, that's because they watch VH1 and they really, I swear black women create their own metric for each other. And black men have no say in it. We just got to, work our way in it somewhere. And they say, well, that's what we want. But really, that's what they're seeing. That's what they're portraying to each other and telling each other what we want. They don't never come and talk to us. Like I remember one time, I think we were on BGS's panel, and Angry Man was talking to some girl, and the girl asked the other girl on the panel, "What do men want?" And Angry Man pointed out, like, "Look, you have a whole bunch of men on the panel, but yet here you are asking the woman on the panel what we want." And that's how black women do it. They get what they want, what we want from other women. They have other women telling them what men want.
All right, so you see. Yeah, because they don't respect a man's opinion, but they want a man's result, which is insane. But it is what it is.
These pictures are of women that's like everyday women that just eat healthy and work out.
Yeah,
two times.
Like I like
that.
Yes, because what I like is the what I call the girl next door type. Now, look, I like a lot of different shit. It ain't I just like this.
But I like the girl next door too. Like a woman that I grew up thinking was fine. A lot of brothers may not think she's that fine, but I always thought that like Regina Hall and Sanaa Lathan were very fine growing up. I look at them like that to me is your black girl next door, cute chick. That's what I always thought was good looking. Megan Good to me was beautiful, and then I fucking look up, she's bleaching her skin, and I'm like, well, what is you doing this for? You was like one of the finest black chicks, man. Now she bleached her whole fucking skin.
Now, if you want to
self-hate,
we gotta do the light skin chick.
Oh my god, I can't believe Megan Good.
That's a good dress. Whoever.
Why we gotta even point out that she's light skinned? Black is black.
I don't care if she's light skinned.
No. I mean, I don't care either, but I don't say that either.
Edward care, nigga. You care.
The people who's on this dark skin bullshit, they've never been that.
That's not no. First of all, that's not what I meant when I said it. So I mean, dudes run away with that. Like, but I don't. Like these are the same ones. They'll be like, yeah, man, she looks just like Cardi B, and Cardi B's black. Like it's like people have no concept of ethnicities or shit like that or something. I don't know. And I get what you're saying, but people run away with that shit for their own narrative. Not you, but like women, they'll talk about. So yeah, Mr. Fantastic talked about the Chimba, so I'm gonna bring her up. Y'all know who that is?
Nah. If we're gonna say light-skinned girls aren't black, you're gonna eliminate damn near all of East Africa.
But that's not. But see, you can. But it's ethnicities, and see, black people don't have no concept of ethnicity. Those blacks the way they talk. because that's not something that we ever address. So anything to them that's not like black is whatever, they try to make it. This is why the same people could say light-skinned chick ain't black. The same thing they'll try to say Cardi B is black because it's emotional.
Well, they said all those biracial chicks that won those pageants last week was black, and three out of the 5 was biracial. And they claimed them. So I don't see. I don't even work like that. But like when you show me, when you show me these pictures of these beautiful chicks, I'm not thinking dark skin, light skin. Oh, that chick is good look. I'm not even thinking.
Now this is a good example of a chick that you know. Yeah, she's Nigerian. Yeah, African, Nigerian.
No obsession with.
I actually liked her better on the left. I'll fuck with her on the left before I fuck with her on the right.
Yeah. Most black dudes would say like they do on.
Yeah, she was nice on the left. She was nice. Now see, that's what I call petite on the left.
Yeah, but she was insecure on the left, and now on the right, she thinks she bad.
But what most black men say when they're talking about you need to get bigger, that's actually what they're talking about when they say it. They're not talking about you getting a stomach. Like, let's go back to that. This is exactly.
These chicks out here dying getting these surgeries, man. I just read in the news recently about a black.
She didn't get surgery.
Yeah, I don't.
Most of these hoes is that chick like she got surgery, bro. Ain't no way she went from being a 110 pound.
No, that was a 10-year-old picture. Like no, I'm telling you, like this on my part.
This is the reason why I say
on the right, bro.
This is the reason why I say black women hit the wall. Black don't crack, but it definitely does get fat. When you add weight onto your figure, you look older.
But what a lot of you not understanding is not when people say weight, are you talking about muscle or fat or a combination? Most black women, when they gain weight, they don't do it in the gym. They do it by eating. Versus a lot of these women, what they'll do is they'll build muscle and it'll accentuate a lot of the body frame features that they have. So it looks like they got built bigger. Now, obviously, you're right. Most of these chicks are getting surgery, but you can kind of tell. You can tell that just by how some of this stuff land.
I don't know. It's hard to tell with this one, bro. You know, that's sad that these days.
This one looked like she in her mid-30s just off these pictures.
No, she's not in her mid-30s. I mean,
that's how she looks.
Okay, well, that's how she looks.
These bras today, man, like when I be reading about Mr. Miami and I done seen some of his catalog and the shit he be putting out there about these bras, it's like you don't even know anymore, man. Like,
no, you don't know anymore.
Because I just told you I know women. I couldn't believe it when this one woman, right? She just got married. She was telling me how she was getting some new titties and a new ass. I'm like, bro, I mean,
yeah, they talk it all nonchalant. You absolutely right. They say it like it's nonchalant.
But I'm like, she's not a model. She's a regular working girl.
Yeah, man, I'm about to put some rims on my car, man. You know, it's all
that's what I was thinking about.
That's how they. That's how they
talk about it. Real normal. Oh, I'm going to get my ass shots tomorrow. Okay.
Going to get some spinners on my ass.
And then they sit there and they actually try to blame dudes.
Yeah.
For that, as if that's like, oh, it's the society y'all create. I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
They lying.
It's not the society we create. It's what you guys watch on MTV.
Yep. Reality TV. That's what
it's what they're watching. They think we're controlling the shit they're watching on TV. Really, the ratings they're creating is what's controlling it.
Man, some of your most girl next door type females be the best in the sack, man.
And the most insecure. I see the most beautiful black women be the most insecure, talking about I need to gain weight.
Yeah.
Like, Shaggy? What? No, you don't.
Some of these women that be like Wrigley, average body type with a really cute face. Man, you get her in the bed, that'd be the best sex you ever had versus these women that got the IG bodies. This should be ran through. And I don't know. I just think that the whole standards that black women have forced on themselves through the media, it's something.
And that's why I go so hard in the paint for this shit, because I mean, I can get women, but I talk to so many women, and there's not one black woman that I've talked to that don't tell me she wants to gain at least 30 pounds.
Really?
And I'm like, why? Yes.
Yeah, that is.
I don't hear that with African girls at all that I talk to.
Well, we talking about black.
So you talking about women are saying this?
ADOS black woman. I met an ADOS black woman like years back, and she was like 19, and we went and hung out at my house. And the first thing she tells me is, "I can't wait to put on my grown woman weight." I'm like, what the fuck is grown woman weight?
I ain't never heard that one before.
What does that mean? What does that mean?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's another reason why you got so many women being single mothers. There's a couple of reasons. A lot of these women will take birth control because they think it'll help them gain weight, and they realize it's not what they want. They'll stop taking birth control just for that reason. Another reason is women will see. Yeah, another thing that a lot of these women will have kids for that purpose too.
Taking birth control just to gain the weight, huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I think bitches talk about using crack to lose weight. So the goofiness is out there.
Whoa. I've heard the opposite, Edward. I've heard the opposite. I've heard black women who are extremely obese tell me if they lose weight, they're gonna look like a crackhead.
Well,
Like,
maybe
I'm
you
gonna
guys
look like
are
a
right.
crackhead.
Maybe
The truth is you probably will at first, but you have to build your way into it, and it just depends. Like that's it. See, at the end, here's the thing, man. At the end of the day, man, they actually believe their opinion matters. The truth is, you can believe what you want. You can believe me or not. I'm gonna do what the fuck I need to do, to get the outcomes that I want to get. So you can say this is why I talk about diversification and supplementation. Like, I want to have a kid. If I have a kid, it will be with a black woman. But at the same time, who I'm dealing with and all in the meantime and shit like that, I'm not worried about that. So you can do what you want to do. And then when you bitching about the outcomes, ain't nobody gonna care. Like, see, this is where the women fuck up. They think because there's economics in basically watching TV shows or going to church and shit that tell them what they want to hear, that's actually what is correct. No, the only reason why they're telling you what you want to hear is because there's money in it. When the money stops being in it, they're gonna stop doing it. Or when they got all the money they can get out of you, they're gonna move on to something. Think about it. Look at what people now. The reason why you got a typical IG thought now out there right now is because all the energy is going to trying to sell women shit. So all that shit went into a vacuum. So now all these liberalized females said I could be a thought and get all that model money because they for the most part removed that and tried to direct advertising dollars to trying to get bitches, the women to buy shit. So this is really
Weather Bay. One of the brothers just mentioned Weather Bay. Now she's thick. See, that's what I call thick. Weather Bay. She's thick.
Yeah, but a lot of these things with people Weather Bay and this, and it's like a lot of these dudes, they just know what makes them aroused, and they don't have context to it. So they're not even thinking about body mass index or how is this body built to be like this. They do that thing, you like what you like, or that magical shit where motherfuckers just come out the gate looking like they look. This is why these niggas always getting caught up on these fucking Instagram model shit, because these chicks think they working their way into that, and then these dudes, if they see a chick walking, they probably can't even tell if she's a fake or not. Because they probably don't know.
That's a good example. I think the chick that Rick Ross was going to marry a few years back, but then he found out she cheated or something, and he had already bought her a ring, and he dumped her. I heard she just did something like that, where she just caught some dude up with a baby in some kind of thing. The one that Rick Ross is going to marry. Typical IG model type of.
And these IG models are really not that smart. You just got to know what you're going in. The problem, like Kaepernick actually did it right when he made Brittany Renner, that chick who actually hangs out with porn stars, because all this world, you gotta remember, that's the Hollywood world. When you look at a lot of the parties and stuff like that, that's the socialite world that is Hollywood. So when it's bullshit from the start, and stop like thinking, oh, well, that's a real one, no, they all full of shit to a certain extent, and you know what you're dealing with, then you can navigate through it. But these dudes be believing in these chicks, and some dudes are just based like that. Like Paul George is goofy like that. Drake is goofy like that to a certain extent.
You know who else got caught up like that? Antonio Brown got caught up like that too. He went from Gina Frooms, who she's cold, to some basic chick that looked like she worked at Taco Bell, and then now that his ass is losing like 40 million over a basic chick when he had a dime. I mean, these dudes be doing some stupid shit when they
because for them it ain't got nothing to do with that. For them, it's like an addiction. It's just about them in the moment, and that's why they like black athletes, because a lot of black athletes, they're in the moment, like money ain't never go nowhere. Dudes like Kawhi Leonard, dudes like Marshawn Lynch, and to be fair, like even Russell Westbrook, who's married, like those dudes are not the norm. A lot of and some of them dudes are starting to get smarter, to be fair, but a lot of them dudes, they get caught up in the fucking lifestyle. Like, that's why I got a lot of respect for Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose has pretty much a lot of his money. So when he went through some shit, he still got his money, and the money he's making now is just helping keep his shoes on point and helping to keep, his stuff maintained. But a lot of that would have broke a lot of these dudes. Because you know who they get these dudes? They get a lot of these young dudes first. These dudes that come out of college and they in their first, second, third year. Because those are the dudes that be real goofy, especially if they get caught up with these models early. They go out like Johnny Manziel, Anyway.
Yeah, I always thought that was weird because when I see, you know, cats that got money like that as status, and then I see them fucking a woman that I wouldn't even want to bang, it throws me off, man. I'm like, dude, you got access to nothing. Why would you even go below an 8? And I see some of these dudes that are NFL Pro Bowlers with a fucking 5, and I'm like, well, what's going on, man?
I got one last one to put out there just to trigger folks. This is where you know SYSBM, you motherfuckers keep fucking around and playing games. And these white women be, you know, that's where you're gonna get fucked up. That's where you're gonna get fucked up right here. You keep fucking playing.
Man, you ain't got nothing on the screen, Edward.
I ain't got nothing on the screen.
Okay, now, whoa, yeah, I've seen her before. I know I've seen her before. I remember this one. Isn't she like Italian?
Let me do it again. Yeah, and I'm from Chicago, so if I
yep, she's Italian.
I'm about to put it back on.
Yep, Chicago has a lot of Italians.
And I think she is from Chicago too.
Like I said, man, I'm a breast man. Face and breasts, I go. That's where I started, man. Yep, that's an Italian chick, dude. And I bet you she don't weigh over 135, 140 pounds. I bet you.
I guarantee you that.
She actually used to be bigger than that, and then she lost weight. Like, this is good.
See, I'm all about the breast, man. And that's why they tell me, they like, man, you got like white women taste. I'm like, nah, man, I just like them. I like pretty faces and big tits, man.
No, I got rich man taste, and that's what I'm gonna start telling these bitches.
Yeah, which is a low key diss because they try to say it's something wrong with you, and I'm like, you can't look at the obesity rate. You know, and this is what I always say to shit like that. You know what? If it's fucking something wrong with me, why don't y'all go get some 9-8 blacks and see if they pull that, if they go for that bullshit.
No,
go
they can't.
Yeah, exactly.
But the same woman that's telling you that won't bring that package to those other dudes. What I'm trying to say, they
exactly. So what they're saying is emotional. Once you realize that, you know, I don't even take half the shit they say seriously.
But this is what you gotta do, because at a certain point, you gotta realize that there's certain weight classes that come with certain economic classes, and if you're a bigger girl, you're basically in the tax refund class. You're looking for that nigga that's living off his tax refund.
Or
what class you're in.
Is if you're economically secure because you make a lot of money, then what's gonna happen is you're gonna there's another chick. This is that Latin side of it that they need to worry about.
Yeah, that's the thing you can say about IG, boy. IG is like today's version of Playboy, man. Like, I can see why Playboy went out of business, because you don't even. With IG, there wouldn't even be no point in having a penthouse magazine and Playboy.
Now, here's what's crazy about this. You see all this, like if you first see her, you'll think, okay, and you see the tan line. But this is what a lot of y'all need to pay attention to for if y'all go to Brazil and you see them tan lines. Now you look now at what she looked like, and you would think she bleached her skin, but this is actually what she really looks like.
Yeah, she looked like a black chick in
so she was really going in that tan thing. This is when people talk about, oh, motherfuckers be trying to look black, because she's Latin. But yeah, that's what she really looks like. She really, like, I was like, damn, did you bleach your skin? Like, no, that's what she really looks like.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I was hearing some people talking about, like, you know, black women's body type versus other. I'm like, I don't know what cities y'all in, but everything I see up here, I see white women, Asian women, biracial women with banging ass bodies, just normal banging bodies.
Where I'm at, you don't see that all the time, but I'm in Raleigh. So, but if you go in the top 15, top 20, but really the top 10 major cities, then you're gonna see top 12. You're gonna see that.
Yeah, what I see is like thick Asian girls, thick white girls, fit. I mean, they be having just like, okay, 15 years ago, white women liked having big titties. They had a flat ass. That ain't what you see out here no more, bro. Like all these girls, even the petite ones, got ass now. White girls.
Yeah, because what it used to be, it just depends. But at the end of the day, you know, these motherfuckers know what time it is. They just trying to sell. They trying to sell some shit and then shame you into doing the shit you want to do. Like I've said it. I'll go incel before I deal with a fat shit.
But it's not working, and they know it's not working because, like I said last night,
I'm dead ass serious.
Damn. So you said because you said you're gonna take the incel lane.
I would go with proud. I'd be a card carrying incel before I fuck up.
Like on the Joker, you go do the Joker level, huh?
Well, I'm just saying, man. But in a lot of black men, this is why I know it's not a lot of black male incels, because a lot of black men will fuck fat chicks. Yeah. What they will, and they will act to get on here and they will defend the right and try to say it's a whole bunch of dudes like that, as if, and you always ask them, I want to find a dude that's over $100,000 try to make that case. I want
dudes over $50,000 ain't making that case. Shit, what you talking about?
I want to see a man with a job try to make that case.
Yeah, I don't know. That word is you going to the extreme. You said 100. I mean, come on, man.
Because the way they make it sound like when they say, "Oh, there's a whole bunch of brothers," well, I'm like, who are these brothers? Like,
the broke brothers.
It's the younger men who are unemployed. We all know black men have a high unemployment rate, and the ones that are unemployed, those are the ones hitting on them fat chicks.
Yeah, it's
you. The one standing outside the corner store with a dime, talking about you want some weed. That's his bitch.
Yep, and I've seen it because I just told you I know a woman that's a nurse and she weighs like 300 pounds and she got a baby dad and she got several regular dudes, but they're broke dudes, but they regular looking guys. They ain't like no fat motherfuckers, anything like that.
And that's another thing when it comes to that's another thing. There's genetic value, and there's genetic value, and then there's economic value. So these dudes could be broke, but that don't mean they're necessarily fat. And so what happens is these women try to associate that because they have genetic desirability or may have somewhat, but at the end of the day, you tricking. That's you tricking. There's a lot of dudes that are fucking for food and shelter. This is a chick out of Houston.
Oh yeah, so I mean, she's coast like Christina Milian a little bit.
But black American women are notorious for paying for dick. That's why they pay for it. That's why they brag about their degrees.
Nobody never thinks about that.
They never talk about that, bro. These black chicks be traveling all over the continent, all over the world, paying for sex. Don't be fooled.
Yeah, I mean that's why they brag about. That's why in their mind their degree gives them a leg up in the dating market because now they can afford to buy a nigga. That's the type of shit men would do.
To me, man, that's what she looked like. Yeah, these chicks be paying, and that's why when I hear brothers in this space talking about whining and dining bras, I don't know what are you dudes talking about, man. Yeah. You don't gotta wine and dine the average black woman, man. She'll wine and dine you if she like you, you know.
Yeah.
So I mean, dudes talking about all this whining and dining and taking a bitch to a 5-star restaurant. I'm like, okay, you guys are just in different zip codes.
Hold on. Cynthia Thomas bitch ass thought I wouldn't see that. Like, let's see. No, that was way up there. Like, it's amazing how trick. Let me say this while y'all up here. So Marco, shout out to Fantastic State. Marco put the thing up there where he had the Latin woman talking, and shout out to her for coming on. And just and shout out to Charles for coming up. I appreciate it. Charles, just like Charles the first time for coming up. But just the hate out of these chicks when they saw like a non-ADOS chick, you know, it's crazy. Like she's a prostitute. She's this, she that. Like y'all saying all this shit that y'all do, y'all are projecting. Like
that's hilarious, bro. That's so hilarious.
That was funny.
They got a whole thing called the Get the Bag prostitution movement, and then they want to talk about prostitutes. It's
all emotional. It's all emotional. And when you see that, it's almost like the only reason I even really talk, it's like you can't understand like how fucking hypocritical that shit is. Like you don't even have that kind of self-awareness. That's like a fucking kid.
Man, I can't believe that a woman in this space would even dare say that after we just saw Jason Roger Pope getting women that was pimped out to him by black women. Get the fuck out of here, man.
None of that matters. That's old news. And the sad thing about it is the sad thing about it is they understand that if like it doesn't have to be all black men, it doesn't have to be half. It just has to be, if you look at that top 30%, if they start really looking like that, then that's where the majority of the money is. Like you past 35, it ain't a lot of money when it comes to black men, and outside of that, it's over.
I got a question for you, bro. Okay, so these women got smoke for you talking on your channel, talking about your preferences in your space, right? Now, here's what I don't understand. Where's all the smoke for them going after black men with these fake kidnapping hoaxes and calling that shit out because it's undermining, it's undermining black men first off, but it's also undermining like black women that are actually victims out here in these streets. Where's all the smoke for them?
because you're bringing logic to an illogical thing. I mean, the thing is, I always see what kills me is you'll have women on here on all black male spaces, and pretty much it's like, okay, so you like being around black men, but you hate black men. Make that make sense. Because I don't go over there with the women. Like, I don't be going over there with them women talking that cackle bullshit. That's what I don't understand. Like, I don't understand. You're that devoid of attention. Tommy sort of
either, man.
Like 25% of Tommy sort of your subscribers are black women.
And then you got these women, and the main ones that come to your space, they know what you talk about. They know that you unfiltered. They'll come to your space, and then it's like they'll tell you that they're married and got a man.
Or is one chick on the yesterday's hangout with O'Shea, and she devil. She was talking about, oh, y'all need to lose weight so y'all could get a white man. And I'm like, okay, you could do that, because some of the real talk, some of the women, I ain't gonna tell you which ones that I showed you, that's what they don't outwardly promote that, but that's who they ended up with.
Oh, can I say something right quick? Because I gotta say something about that. I've heard black women say, now saying these stereotypes say white men get the best looking black women. And I said, no, white men get the slim black women. So by saying that, you're basically admitting that the slim black women are the best looking ones.
Well, but they understand that they're not gonna get let in the door unless they hit certain standards, and they have to be usually better than those certain standards, because they're getting held to a higher standard than what white women will be held to, because they're in the door. They know that. So they don't question it. A lot of them, they either choose to play or they choose not to play. That's why a lot of them don't do that.
I don't get it. You guys, so many things that you could be investing your time in. You have a small channel, and it's amazing that you get these women coming to your channel while you're chopping it up with people that you deal with, and then talking shit to you about what you. I mean, I don't get it, bro.
And to be honest with you, the shit that I showed, and it was funny, is the shit that I showed you as far as what I like, that shit was average.
Yeah,
that shit's like average based on like
not to them. They call that featurism.
That's like the 87. He was showing like the average 87 next door.
But two of the chicks that I showed that I said that I like, they even passed that test. They got the nose. They got all that. Like the chick, the first chick I showed you, she was Jamaican. So what are you talking about? It doesn't matter. They're always going to come up with something because it's not them, because they're out of standard. You know, the nose thing, I'm like, oh, you got to have the West African features and da 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 da. I mean, I've dated women like that, and it is fun. You know, that's not. Come on, man.
Yeah, but I just think, I'm just saying, like, you would just expect that at this point, after black men have been in this space banging and banging, that these women already know the program. So why even waste your time? Go get your white man.
Because they don't respect it.
Because it's emotional. They can't even stand the fact that there's anybody out there saying that, because they need to believe what they need to believe. And this is why, BGS is right. The environment has to change.
They say all day.
Yeah,
all day.
You're talking
like you just heard Archer say that the black woman is telling him that white men get the best black women, and after I believe him.
Well, white men get the best black women because black women edify whiteness. They say that like the reality is, I got a video of a broke ass white dude saying, I don't know why black women like me so much. There's better black men than me.
I put that on my Jason Roger Pope live cast. I played that one, the white incel dude, where he was begging to stop talking to him,
and he was being honest about it. Like, he said, you could do better. He wasn't even like controlling about it, but he was telling the truth. He said, y'all they take me out, they do this, they do that, and a lot of
he sounded like a homosexual. He was saying like, I see black men out and they look really good and they're better than me. Why are you with me? He was saying it himself. He was like, yeah, I'm out with these black chicks and I see black men look way better than me.
So you make that sense. So and see, it's funny because it's like the same thing they tell us. Well, how can you deal with that? This their oppressor. They're oppressor. They're the oppressor today. But tomorrow they do like all that. Like, you can't take people seriously that operate like that.
Man, I got news articles of black women as deputies with a nice income, fucking Nazis in their prison and getting fired and sued by the Nazis. I mean, come on, man, stop it, man.
Yeah, but see, none of my message on this. My message is not don't date black women. My message is diverse. Is the same thing. Just like how I would say don't invest in the stock market by buying one stock. You diversify. That's all I'm saying. Your power is in your ability and your willingness to exercise diversification, whether that's intercultural or interracial. That's all I'm saying. Especially if you somebody you ain't settling down, why would you not do that? And I don't have a different standard for black women. The difference with black women though is black women think that black men are supposed to protect them and save them when they go over there and hop the fence while they're over there hopping the fence.
Yeah, that's insane, bro. And so, for example, okay, with the situation with Carol Sanchez and her saying that 4 black men kidnapped her and being in a city like New York with the history of stop and frisk, you could get brothers out here killed over something like that. Killed.
Yeah, they don't care about nothing like that.
And women have the nerve to come online talking about deputizing the black male population to save them, protect them. You guys are the
reason why this stuff sounds so crazy, and we'll probably be wrapping this up in a little bit, but the reason why this sounds so crazy is because they are having conversation. They want to, it's almost like if you talk to a white person, they want to pretend like, let's pretend slavery never happened. So you're not allowed to talk about slavery and history that never happened in America. Now let's have a conversation about where black people and white people are. That's kind of like what and that's what a lot of black conservatives try to do, where they try to say none of that happened, so now we're just going to lean it completely 100% on personal responsibility. At the individual level, obviously personal responsibility is a thing, but when you're looking at collective numbers or macro numbers to say, okay, that never happened, okay, then the only other conclusion you could come to is what they're saying. This is what black women do. They want to say, let's pretend like the black community, it started off like every other community. There was no gynocracy, there was no other thing, and then let's talk about what needs to happen. Because they want to have what's called like a debt jubilee, like BGS talks about, but with the exception of the fuckery that they did generationally, and they just want to pretend like, shit. So this way they can blame us. So when they talk about stuff like protection and stuff like that, they act as though they don't understand as to why. First of all, even the idea of them saying that black men don't protect black women, like the first thing I would say with that situation you just mentioned, I would say, okay, where's the father? Because at the end of the day, a woman chooses the father for her children. That's where, like, you can't get a man to know, because women are not forced to be with men. Men have to accept marriage. Men have to accept all these things. Women have a right to have kids and abort them. So you have choice. So it starts really with who you choose. So it's not the society didn't provide me with a good man, that's why I chose wrong. That's how a lot of black women want to start it off as, because they want to start it off as nothing's their fault.
Man, what I'm saying is that I just think that at this point, at the close of 2019, I'm just saying that I think most black men are becoming pretty much indifferent to it, the plight of these bras at this point. That's how I see it. Like, I'm not.
I mean, you have to be indifferent.
Yeah, I'm indifferent to that plight at this point.
At this point, you have to be indifferent to it. I mean, just looking at what happened on Mr. Fantastic channels when the women are talking about don't date out because of genetic value and
what'd you say?
No, wait, no, but let me finish. When the women are talking about don't date out because of genetic value and preserving the black race, and then you get a Afro-Latina on the panel, and they're just as mad as if you would have got a white woman on the panel.
First of all,
but if you have a baby with her,
believe that because when you look at abortion and 14.5 million, you have no right to talk about preserving race and genetic value. But that's where I'm talking. But see, that's what I'm talking about. They say this stuff as if other things don't exist.
Now that's a powerful point right there, bro. But the way that they chase the white seed, we know that's a lie.
Too.
They so full of shit, man. They so full of shit that it's like, that's why I say, like, I would think that most black men at this point are indifferent. Yeah, there was a red pill rage for a lot of black men probably a couple years ago, but I'm not seeing the red pill rage, at least on the channels I go on anymore. I don't see, dudes are mostly just indifferent or mocking the situation.
Well, that's on YouTube. I mean, black men in real life still are living out there and going through a lot of this bullshit, and they're still looking for answers. They're still up and coming black men who's going to deal with bullshit.
Well, in real life, you got 3 types of black men. You got black men that are indifferent and they just come out the gate saying, I'm doing me and that's it, because there's no benefits. Then you got the other black men that they did their bullshit, and when they get older, they feel like, okay, I need to pay this debt that a fuckery that I did. So I want to sit there and try to project that debt to every other black man. These are the save the negresses brothers, where they know it's like until we're ready to have a real conversation, there's really nothing that needs to be said. But they don't care about that. They're gonna sit there and carry the water for them. And then you got dudes that are kind of like, I would say, black pill, where they're not angry about it. They're just taking advantage of the situation and are gonna run through as many women, no matter what the cost of consequences it is, as it is. So they, like your Derrick Jacksons, they outwardly go out and manipulate women in this situation. A lot of your pastors do that. So, and then, well, you got men that don't know what they don't know, and they're sitting there operating standard operating procedures, and they just don't know no better because they ain't got touched by the hot stove yet.
I don't think I'm just saying, like, I know Ryle just put in the chat something I've been saying forever. When I hear this genetic argument, even as a dude that's mostly indifferent, it's just funny because I'm like, these women in America, if you listen to like the ADOS woman, she thinks that she's the only black woman on the planet, not knowing that she only represents like what 3% of the black.
Yeah, the genetic argument. You don't even got to go to Africa to deal with that. You can go to Latin America. I mean, the genetic argument. That's why I always tell dudes.
You don't even got to go outside of America. It's black women, black Latinas, and black women from Africa all over this fucking place, man.
That's why when dudes want to go hotep, I'm like, that can be solved. Intercultural dating can solve that problem. And then this is why a lot of people lean on the ADOS thing, because that's another way for them to try to regulate who you date. So people sitting there talking about, well, are they half ADOS and not half ADOS? You can't be half and not ADOS when it comes to, that's not how that works, actually.
Yeah. He said, are they half ADOS?
But that's what they do. And you got dudes that really be trying to push that shit.
And I don't spend any time on the hotep side. So a lot of this shit that you telling me is like, it's just funny.
No, this is shit that's brought to me, and they'll try to, like, if I'm having these AOS conversations, I'll see it in my chat, and they'll sit here. It's two sides of it. It's the motherfuckers that want to act like they Indian but not African, or the Hebrew Israelite part, and then it's the other side where dudes want to start legislating with ADOS, half ADOS. You can be half. It's like stupid shit.
Hold on. Because, like, Malcolm X was half ADOS.
They don't care about none of that.
Malcolm X dad was Black American.
None of this is based on logic. Like
when it comes to Malcolm X, the only thing they care about him is the fact that he said black women are unprotected. That's the only fucking thing they care.
Don't go there.
That is true. A lot of that's the main thing, because that's what a lot of why
I hate that saying that they be saying. I hate on Black Twitter be saying that shit all the time. They be posting that. Black women at least. I hate that fucking meme, man.
Nothing else about Malcolm X ideology, strategy, nothing. They don't give a fuck.
I fucking hate that GIF, man. I be seeing that GIF all over Black Twitter talking about Malcolm X said that black women is the least protected woman. Fuck out of here. That was 60 years ago.
Like black women don't know how to call 911.
Well, Malcolm X was in the Nation of Islam, so if you want protection, you go follow that rule.
Malcolm X would have been SYSBM because he was already SYSBM before the Nation of Islam, and if he or Frederick Douglass or any of them lived today, they would be saying the same shit that we saying, because they'd be like, damn, did you hear in Atlanta that this woman just put 100 black men with Dodge Chargers at risk over a lie? Did you just hear in New York City, in a city where they love shooting down black men, that a girl plotted with whoever to be kidnapped in broad day? It was all a fucking lie. No one wants to talk about that side of the equation, though.
Yeah, but they're forgetting the fact they're living off, like Edward said earlier in the video, in the stream, they're living off the name of the team, like the Lakers. They're living off the fact that they are the black women, but they're not recognizing the fact that the players and the culture of the team has changed over time, and men recognize that. So the Lakers might be the Lakers, but the Lakers aren't. The black women are not the same black women as before. The situation is not. It's not the same league as it was before. Things have changed. Times have changed. Things have developed, and they cannot recognize that. Now, Edward and Sigma, I want to tell y'all one thing. I date a lot of African women.
Right.
And what's fucked up is when I date African women, I tell black women that. Like, I don't fuck with y'all. I fuck with Africans. I like East African, West African. I like straight up African.
Bringing me some yellow rice tonight, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
They get on this little thing where, like, kind of like they did on Mr. Fantastic. Well, she only wants you because she trying to get a green card.
Stop it, man.
Or you got that thought on the panel. Like, they all, like, black women got a tongue. That's their only weapon is their mouth.
They can't compete though, because you up in Minnesota too, so you already know. And dude, I keep telling brothers, like, when it comes to the ADOS women up here, they can't even compete, man.
Are you in Minnesota too, aren't you?
I'm in Minnesota right now, yeah, but I'm actually from Wisconsin. So I have being from Wisconsin and being from a more segregated area of Milwaukee and comparing it to the Twin Cities, and I actually lived out in California too, but I know what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the hood chicks and the black women that's in Minnesota versus in Wisconsin versus Chicago. You know, being from this area that we get a lot of women from Chicago, Indianapolis, Wisconsin, but it's mostly
Milwaukee.
Chicago chicks. Yeah, but we get a lot more Chicago girls. So they can't compete.
Yeah.
No, because a lot of them, and I'm gonna end it with this. A lot of them on some so a lot of Midwestern black women on some redneck bullshit.
Yeah, man, you right, bro, for real.
Like, well, what's it called? Thomas Sowell talk about that black redneck shit. That's their problem.
Yep, I'm glad you said that. But I keep trying to explain that to brothers from the South. I'm like, y'all don't get it, man. Midwestern black women are different, bro. Like they on some other shit, man. Like they don't even try to compete with the women up here. They just on some thug shit, man.
Fuck them up so bad.
You
But
said
anyway,
what?
because that industrialism done fucked them up so bad. That's really what the main point is. So they didn't got because they came up from the South, and it's like that fourth wave shit. So they really, that's why, like Solo had a chick on here and she was talking about these baby dick niggas, and the first thing she did was like show a picture of her in her lingerie. This is a chick that's a mom, like to the video, so she got a body.
Yeah.
I'm like, Solo be laughing that shit off, but I'd be like, yeah, that's that redneck shit. That really is, and she don't even understand that that's fucked up. You see how they talk. Motherfuckers ain't playing that game no more. That's why, look, man, I got love people in Chicago, but god damn it, if you come at me with that bullshit, no. I like Corey Holcomb, and I got respect for the everyman, but when you come at female, no. That shit will be thrown out the window, man. I'm not playing that. I'm not even entertaining that redneck shit. You better check.
Yeah, that shit is big out here in the Midwest. Like, but I still say out of all the black women I met from out here in the Midwest, I say that the Chicago women are the worst, man.
By far,
they are.
They're the worst, man.
By far,
because the Chicago's the epicenter of a lot of the fuckery.
They roll with so much fucking masculine energy. It's like it's unbelievable, man.
But I would keep it real. Philly, I think Philly got Chicago beat. I think
Philly even worse.
I think Philly and Chicago got probably the worst black women by average when it comes to a lot of that shit.
Now Gary, Indiana is they neck and neck.
Chicago. That's Chicago.
Gary, Indiana is real Chicago. Neck and neck with Chicago.
No, that's in Chicago.
It's basically Chicago.
No, I don't count that.
These chicks like they roll with so much. Like if you ever around like a bunch of bras from Chicago and Gary, like you just happen to end up in a place and then you see the other women. It's almost like you walked into like a whole nother universe and shit just in like 10 seconds because of the way that they walk. Like a lot of the Chicago chicks walk like a man and dress like men, even though they're in their 30s. They dress like they like wearing Jordans and shit. And I don't know.
And the problem is if you're somebody that's born and raised in that, you don't know nothing else for the most part. So you don't, shout out to Jap, because Jap called that shit out. But the reality is, once you see the work, this is why the worst thing you could do. I don't give a damn if you fuck somebody overseas. When you see how women act, like in like Colombia or Brazil, and they're black, they're just as black as what you've seen in America, and you see that like over and over and over again, not just some one-off. Then you be like, damn the looks. Just let them look like as good as like the median good-looking chick here, which is not hard to do. Then it's like, holy shit, that this is a problem. Like now it's a software issue and not a hard issue, because most black men grow up believing this is just how women are, and they come to a certain acceptance of it. If they were ever shown women that were not like that and then introduced to women to act like that, they would automatically reject it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just so much masculine energy. Like when I be seeing these Chicago chicks up here, man, like they don't even give a fuck, and they'll actually talk to you. They're aggressive too. Like they'll take some of the shit I done heard black women say to me, man. It's crazy, bro. Like
I'm gonna say this one thing, and I'm gonna bounce right quick. But King Sigma, you said black women don't like to compete, and when you said that,
I said they don't what?
They don't want to compete.
Well, I'm just saying from what I see,
yeah. When you said that, it sparked something in my mind that I never really thought of before. Black women do compete, but they compete. Look, they compete in a weird way, kind of like how China competed back in the early 90s. What black women try to do is they try to drive down the economic or the social status of their men. They try to drive down the way their men are viewed by other groups of women. Yeah. That way, in order to keep us on the plantation, because if they can get us to look a certain way, we can't leave.
But here's a funny thing about that, and that's a really great point that I haven't heard nobody say. The problem with that is other women don't believe black women. Other women see how they act too. Like, here's the thing: everybody knows what the game is, except black women are the only ones that act like they don't know. Everybody knows that black men are not that bad, and they the ones that believe that shit's actually working. Again, I said it before. It's because they're given a fucking microphone, so they actually believe people are actually listening to them.
Well, it did work for a degree, but just like anything, when you're in a trade war or when you're in an economic war, you can only devalue your currency for so long before it comes back and bites you in the ass.
It's run its course. It's run its course now.
What it's also done is it's actually it's whatever. At the end of the day, it is what it is. But anyway, I'll let Sigma, you get your last word.
All right.
And yeah, we'll pop off.
All right, thanks for having me on, Edward. I know we got more into like the dating market stuff tonight, but we're gonna have to get into this fake kidnapping and the way that the media is just portraying it as like a one-off or not important. But we need to start talking about the fact that this is actually hate crimes against black men. So we got to do that at some point in the future. But, just everyone have a good night, man. Peace to the viewers, peace to the panel, and the brother Archer. And, just talk to you guys next time, man.
Yep. All right, man. Well, once again, this is Edward. Appreciate y'all popping on here. I mean, yeah, as far as that stuff, they're always going to make it seem like a one-off. That's why you have to control your own media, because media is really intelligence gathering to know what's going on in your community. It's something that if you don't build it yourself, somebody will do it for you, and it's never been easier to do it. I mean, this is just me talking shit, talking about a lot of different stuff. Shout out to Sigma. It's unfortunate that they did what they did with his channel. But this is why I told y'all thought I was fucking playing. Like, I purposely do things that kind of depress the growth of this channel. I'm an internet marketer, so I can tell you right now, if I actually really wanted to, do a channel edit and actually build this shit up, I could. But I know with a lot of the shit that I say, they will be shutting my shit down like that, because it is what it is. So anyway, with that being said, this is Edward signing off. Peace.